So that Porn King, eh?
Good one. He was a surprise to many people.
What? In that he sort of jumped out? Sent you that, did he?
He didn't know, but he has told me that a very, very big porn site are interested in sponsoring the podcast. No. So, how was you? I wish I had nails.
Do you want a hand?
Joe, you've got long enough.
I've got long enough.
I'm
Thanks. Injure my nails. So you look.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
The animals. And a Happy New Year.
Yeah. Since we did it.
Get one for yourself.
Do you want a glass? Do you want a glass? 2 glasses for
Get one for yourself. Guess I have.
Alright. We're doing. Why are you put 2? I've got one.
Thank you, Harry.
That's now in the way. So you're gonna.
Where's mine? Oh, right.
I've got. Right. Okay.
This is what it's like every week. Do you want to pop it? Yeah, pop it.
Cheers, everyone.
Pop away.
Merry Christmas to all the True Geordie podcast subscribers.
Woo! Rented room.
Alright, okay, ready?
And pour. Now we see how much alcohol he's ever drunk. Oh, you're pouring it alright. These glasses are actually pretty good for pouring it because they get rid of the bubbles. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Who gives a fuck? It's going to be a good day today. Con, here you go. Should we do it like they do in the American bars and just see if you can catch it?
We have enough fuck-ups on this set.
Yeah. Come on around and you can cheers with us.
Are you going to cheers with us, Con?
Yeah, come on.
You're really the third guy, aren't you, on this pod? But don't say the profits. So
it'll be alright. Just go.
We're not going to say that legally. You know what I mean?
I'm a professional. Yeah.
Dude.
Cheers.
Merry Christmas, lads.
Merry Christmas.
Cheers.
Merry Christmas.
Nice one.
Merry Christmas, guys.
Not too bad.
Room temperature champagne. Nothing
like it.
Can
we open yours after when we run out?
Yeah, of course.
Because
the Porn King also sent me this. So
what should we start with? Sort of a reflection on some of these podcasts we've done lately.
Yeah, I guess the biggest one is Jay from The Inbetweeners. A big turning point for me.
He's like the least celebrity ever, isn't he?
He was really a great interview, though. I thought he was.
Do you know, he's one of those lads I just like to just sit and play games with. And
I went and watched his gaming channel. I've not watched it. I've subscribed, but I haven't watched it in a while.
I don't want to watch it. I just want to play games against him and have a laugh with him.
Right.
I just want to chill with him. Do you know what I mean?
He's like a pretty chill guy.
Such a nice lad, isn't he?
He was lovely. And he was. Not only that, I think he had quite a good perspective on everything.
Yeah, grounded.
I like that. And he didn't say anything offensive. And his Tom Cruise was incredible. His Tom Cruise impression was amazing.
Yeah. What about the Porn King? Did that surprise you?
It surprised me what he was like. I thought we were going to be interviewing when you said to me the actual fake taxi pedo pervert.
No.
Right. No.
He's not a pedo, but he is a pervert.
No, he's a pervert. Sorry.
No,
they're all the same.
But to me, the brains behind all of this shit is far more interesting than the guy who just fucks women.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? We've all fucked women.
Two different kinds.
All owned porn companies.
Two different kinds of brains, I guess, is what you're saying.
Yeah, fucks the brains out of them. And actually, what really freaked us at the end was when he just totally opened up and was like,
"Yeah,
actually, this year it's
a breakdown."
Well, yeah, but to go through that and. You just wouldn't expect it from the Porn King, would you? Would you?
I wouldn't have expected it, but when he said it, it didn't surprise me. Do you know what I mean?
We'd been getting to know him for a good hour and a half by that point, so...
But the reason it didn't surprise me was not because I thought you look like an unstable guy. Not you, him. I'm talking to him in this scenario. Imagine you're him.
I'm imagining I'm him.
All those millions.
I've always wanted to be that.
Yeah.
Porn King.
He's done...
Fucking wasting me time on YouTube, but anyway.
Yeah. In many ways, it's the same. Either way, you're getting fucked.
Yeah.
He's in an industry which I think isn't soulless, but also isn't the most fulfilling industry. He's obviously struggled with the divorce from his wife.
I think a lot of women feel fulfilled in that industry.
I think they are filled. I don't think they're fulfilled. I think he also struggled a little bit with some of the emotional side of it, where like the divorce from his wife, I think he still felt there was a little bit of guilt maybe left over from that, and then also the kind of...
Well, not only that, once you reach the top of the mountain, and a lot of people feel like this, it's like, what's my motivation to get up in the morning now? What? Because there's no challenge now. He's had his company signed. That's it. He just cashes the check every week. Boom. Done.
But do you think that is the top? I guess that's the top of the business mountain. It didn't strike me that he sounds like he's got two lovely kids.
You become about this. You become about the money and the success,
right.
and you convince yourself that that's the goal in life, and that is the true meaning of why you're here.
Obsessive.
To be this guy. And when you become that guy and you still don't feel complete, well then what the fuck do I do now? He's sitting there thinking, I've got 7 kids, I'm a fucking multi-millionaire, I'm established in my industry, and maybe I'm still searching, do you know what I mean? And that's...
We'll clip this bit up after you snap.
Maybe.
We knew he was going to go, cut to this bit, he's sitting in the Newcastle United. We knew when he started wearing the hat.
And then before that, Robbie Williams. That was a
what
real
a great
moment.
day.
That was a real moment.
What a great birthday.
Your birthday.
Mental.
That you'll always have that.
Or yeah, no one can ever take the fact that I was in Robbie Williams' house on my birthday.
Yeah.
Had lunch with Robbie. His daughter's lovely, and his son was really nice. And
cute.
She turned to me and
He took us into their bedroom, like, you know what I mean? It
yeah,
wasn't like
just not in a Weinstein sort of thing. Like
no, come on.
Yeah.
No, but it was like, that's when you know he really like trusts you to make, because like taking people around your kids is like the serious shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So fair play.
And also all those semen stains. I mean, it was incredible.
For fuck's sake,
Joe
man,
didn't have any stains. He had a cleaner.
That chef though.
Chef.
So when we went in, this is when you sort of have an idea of who Rob is in your head, but then when someone opens the door and you're like, who's that? It's door opener. And then it's like, there's the chef.
A door opener.
And then there's like, he's got so many people. That's when I was like...
There wasn't a door opener, just to be clear. It was his manager.
But like, let's be honest here. I realised like the guy's a boss. Like he is at a really...
On a quite literal level.
Like 200 million net worth apparently, something like that. Like...
Did you look that up, or did he whisper you to you? 200 million.
No, when you go through the house, the thing is, people get confused into thinking all pop stars are around about worth the same amount, and then that's when you go into a house like that and you're like, he sold a fuck ton of records.
Rita Ora's worth so much more.
Yeah, he's done live tours and all the rest of it.
It's the tours that are...
Well, they're the money makers, but that's when I realised, like, from a business point of view, I could learn a lot from him, and he's reached a level that, you know, few people will ever reach, especially not me. A
very sort of cult status, like an icon. He's an icon.
He took us into a room. Remember that back room? It was like a ballroom.
Yeah, just full of mirrors. And he just went, just look at them.
No,
and we went, Rob, what are you doing? He went,
he
just
dropped
look.
his pants and went, right.
I don't want, and I was like, Rob, not now. And he went, sing along. And I was like, Rob, DJ. And it was amazing.
But there was a point where we were in this ballroom type deal where the fucking ceiling just went on and on and on forever. Like you couldn't, I was like,
he had a big house.
But then I took like a little bit from the fact that my telly was bigger than his, and then he was like, I was like, my telly's bigger than yours. So, and then he's like, take it, cinema room next.
Yeah. Let's go to the cinema. What? No, I don't need to go out. No, in my house.
Yeah,
right.
That was an eye opener. And the chef brought us some amazing food. It was just,
and his garden was lovely. The steak was the best steak I think I've ever had in his house.
Yeah. You cannot get better than that.
And also, you weren't there for quite a while because you were quite late.
Thanks to the taxi company who didn't.
And the train. I think the train was also late.
Well, the train was on time, but because of the taxi that didn't come, and I had to wait another half an hour. I missed my train.
Right. So. Okay. I thought you were going to say there that in Newcastle the trains wait for you.
They fucking should. The bastards. I fucking power them.
Ladies and gentlemen, Brian's going to be half an hour late, so we just need to hold this train here, and everyone just goes, so it's just True Geordie's train. Cool.
Not like I can't go to that train station now without taking pictures every time.
Do you like the memories? Right, people. Yes. Yeah.
It's fine.
But then I was alone in the house. Had you seen Robbie Williams? You have to use both names. Robbie before that, or was this the first time he came out when he came out and said hello to us? Yes, you.
We're talking to you, Con.
Camera.
What was that?
So he's not even listening.
Not even listening. He's got Stormzy on in his headphones. Yeah, it's gone straight to his head.
Bubbles. Did you meet Robbie before Laurence did or anything?
No.
We went in to hug Laurence first.
Right, that was what was weird when I went in for a handshake.
What was it like? Were you sitting there on your own before I got there then?
No, we were sitting there as a team. So it was Con, me.
What was he saying?
Elliot, and we started to do, and he kept using the phrase podcast before the podcast, and I was like, you really have watched the podcast? And then he was like, let's get lunch. And I was like, yeah, cool, Rob. Yeah, cool. Yeah, wicked. And then his daughter was sat next to me at lunch and went, are you having lunch with us? And I was like, wow, I'm beneath even you. And she was really sweet. Like, she was a really sweet little kid. But you know, her mum's American and he's English. Mm-hmm. She had this amazing, like, English-American accent.
Because she's in
really
LA
sweet.
And that.
Yeah. And I had steak, and she turned to me and went, I'm vegetarian. And, like, looked at me, like, dead in the eye and went, I'm vegetarian. As if I'm supposed to get rid of the steak because she's there, like, disgusted with me. A 5-year-old was judging me.
Killing an animal.
Yeah.
Imagine you as a 5-year-old had met her. What a conversation that would have been, because you were a right chatty little kid.
Would have made an amazing podcast. Yeah, at that age.
A child's podcast. That would be. That's the future.
Robbie,
make it happen. No,
lose children. No.
The thing is, I wanted to keep it quiet. The fact that we'd been talking in contact with Rob for months beforehand, because I wanted to have a nice surprise to it when we did the podcast. But like, it's weird, the world of celebrity, and when you meet someone who's that high up on the ladder,
must have been good for him.
Like, for just little things, like when I was like, he was emailing saying, is there anyone who you'd like to interview? And I was like, it would be interesting from the music world, maybe someone like a Simon Cowell or someone like that, like one of the real big wigs.
And he just emailed back in block capitals, aim lower.
No, he was like, my kids go to school with his kid.
Do they?
I was like,
just to be clear, his kids were really, like, some of the sweetest kids I've met. And
you've said that quite a lot. It's almost getting a little bit worrying now.
Yeah, but
such
it was sweet children. Yeah, sorry, Rob.
The child is a mouse.
Yeah. She wasn't a mouse. She was a girl.
No. That's off the witches. You'd have been the first male witch.
I was. I think there are male witches.
Anyway,
and Wiccan witches. But the thing was that really struck me was he was a really good dad. Like, it wasn't like, you know, you meet some people and the dads are like, yeah, good to see you, son, and the son's like, yeah, cool.
When you're that in touch with your own mind and your own feelings, as Rob is, though, it's impossible for you not to be able to go there with your own kids as well and be in touch with their minds and that. So there's not a doubt in my mind, even just the way he is, just to chat to, you can tell there's no divide between him and his feelings and all of that, where some people, well, you see some dads who are like, yeah, son, like, they can't go there with their kids. He was
so, like, his kids could just call out his name and he was like, I'm just in the, second living room, and they'd go to the second living room and they'd all chill out, and then I was watching them, they were all laughing, and you go, great moments. Oh, hello. And then we get into a conversation.
Yeah.
There was one point where we were smoking outside his house and I was just like, Robbie Williams.
Was it a bit? I think it was because I've done a lot of emailing with them, and you still had a bit more of the because you idolised him as a child, didn't you?
Like, as not him lad. As a child. I was a child. At the time,
so was it a little bit? Because you very rarely get starstruck, but would you say you were a bit starstruck there?
Yeah, but it really helped that we hugged when we met.
Yeah,
and it was just straight.
He puts you at ease, doesn't he?
You know what? Normally you meet a celebrity and they're a bit like. In the same way I just did the dad thing, where they're like, good to see you, buddy, and he was just sort of really chilled out, nice guy. And a lot of people have said to me, I don't like Robbie Williams' persona, and I was like, then you're a dickhead. Because you don't know him like I do.
I honestly, doing that podcast, I've never felt more relaxed in my history of podcasts. Like, but a part of that is because I've done so many of them now, but also the being in contact all the way up until the day of, I just knew it was going to be great. And
his dad was so lovely as well. It
was probably my favourite podcast we've done, like, to be honest with you. Or at least top 3, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We've got some really good ones. I mean, it's a catalogue, to be honest. There's so many. Go back and watch them. But that is definitely top 3.
Yeah, if it was... And in many ways, it's funny, because actually the guests almost look like the evolution of man, and Robbie's like the...
Well, what's funny is... there's a few people who have been in contact with since to get on, and they're like, well, I'm no Robbie Williams. And I'm like, as if everyone we get is like...
That'd be helpful, though, if we could get more of that status.
No, it would be.
Next week, Gary Barlow.
I'll definitely be in...
Not same status.
I'll definitely be in touch with Rob to try and pull a few strings, hopefully, in the future. If he's watching... who can you get with me? You know what I mean? Let us know.
Also, though, I think it was just lovely to get invited to someone's house. Even, no matter who it is, it's just nice to go to someone's house and sort of be welcomed.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you'll see many other interviewers invited to Rob's house. So.
No. What I would have found funny...
What can I say? We've changed. You've changed, True Geordie. I've seen a couple of people say that. Yeah. Because, for those who don't know, I've had issues because I've been moving studio up north lately where I can't make as many football hangovers, and I want to get back to doing loads of them next season. But you combine that problem with then the Robbie podcast, it's like, forgotten his roots.
Yeah.
Doesn't care about what made him. Doesn't care anymore.
Football.
You know what I mean?
Then you're doing 5-hour live streams on the weekend, so you really are making up for it.
I mean, am I though? Am I putting enough effort in? Do you know what I mean? Who even cares?
Talk about this later. Robbie's toilet flush was incredible.
One flush, all gone.
One flush. Do
you know what I noticed?
It was like watching Niagara Falls.
His toilet had patterns painted on the bowl of the toilet, and I'm literally like, you're pissing on patterns here. This is mental.
Yeah.
Pissing
Robbie Williams
on
patterns.
And when you went round, it seemed like every staircase, door, it just led... Oh, it was like Willy Wonka's fucking chocolate factory in there. Everything just... It went on and on and on. Gym... music studio, fucking ballroom, cinema, fucking it was just, it went on and on and on. And then there was some lovely girl who stopped us in the middle of the house, and Robbie's like, oh, what you here for? I mean, obviously she worked for him. Fuck knows what you did. Beautiful girl. And I'm just like, and these women are just
wandering around your halls.
Wandering around. I tell you what though, I don't think I'd be able to handle it the way he does. Like, because one thing I've noticed about Robbie...
What would you have done if Robbie and I were your guests and you saw a woman in the hall? Would you just go...
Fuck off, lads.
Give me a minute.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
No, one thing I've noticed, right, and I have to say this, we've had people with a lot of fans on the show before. I think Robbie is the most famous guy that we've had on.
No shit.
Yeah, but some people disputed that. Were like, well, KSI's got a lot of fans, and then you've got
he's not sold
and then some people
albums.
like Alan Shearer's pretty famous, you know, and things like that. And I was like, who has 130,000 people turn up for them in concert? Is there anyone else we've done that? No.
Alan Shearer though did play at Wembley.
No, but the point is,
he does shit all over Robbie.
The point is what I'm trying to... You know what I mean?
Mr.
Like,
Williams.
Robbie has 130,000 people there for him alone, not a team, not anything, buying 70-odd million records or whatever it is. And one thing that I realised that come with that was an army of his fans.
Right.
And when Robbie Williams fans tweet you, and you see, like, Angels lyrics tattooed on their arms, like you realise it's another level of nothing that anyone else we've had has anything like the hero status, the worship that he gets. And like, then I realised he's had like 20 years of this now, and like, I know he's totally used to it, but like, there's girls like literally tweeting me, and you can tell they're like just thirsty for Robbie Williams. Like, even now, like non-stop, all they do, like all the names are RW on Twitter, fucking pictures of him, just obsessed with him. Like, that's mad. To the level that he's had it, it's mad.
If you're obsessed with Robbie or Brian in the same way, put TG in your name this Christmas. And if you're obsessed with Laurence McKenna, put LM.
LMCK.
Yeah, that would actually...
LMCK.
Yeah. Just... if anyone will do it, it'll be True Geordie quotes, and that'll make me happy. That's just one little thing. True Geordie quotes.
Should we get him on at one point?
That would actually be amazing, because he...
Can we have a picture of him first? I'm a bit worried he might be some sort of little... Because some YouTubers hide their faces, and it's for good reason, but then...
Meaningless.
Well, no, I'm just saying generally.
He's not Nothing. What?
But I'm worrying about TJ quotes. I'm, you know, how old is he? Where is he? Is he locked away in a basement? You know what I mean? Let's find out about this kid.
Only someone who posts podcast quotes could be locked away in a basement. Really.
No, definitely. So,
what's your idea on being friends with? Because it's sort of weird, isn't it? You are actually kind of getting quite close now with someone called Robbie Williams. That's quite an unusual friendship, isn't it?
One thing that the Alan Shearer podcast taught us is to block out status and what people have achieved
Block Robbie.
when you're sitting chatting with them.
Yeah.
Because as people, as fun as it is when someone admires you for about 5 minutes,
Boring, innit? Yeah.
eventually you just want to talk about what's been happening on the news or whatever's been happening in the world.
That's why when we
You
get
don't
here,
want someone constantly sucking you off because of what you've achieved.
that's why when we first get into the podcast room, I just have to let Brian get it all out. Just sort of, I thought your edit was amazing on the weekend. Thanks, Laurence. And just keep going.
So here was the moment that I realised how mad it was.
Yeah.
I told about that moment I had years before I met Robbie on the podcast, and I get on the train and I get back to Newcastle and I'm like, I'm mates with him now. He's a good lad. I like him. He's really nice bloke and all that. And then I sort of totally you forget a little bit about what they've achieved, sort of thing. And then I put my headphones in. I thought, I'll just put one of his songs on because I've spent the day with him. That'll be nice. That
Not Kids.
So I quite like Kids. Actually.
Yeah, I quite like Kids as well. I don't know.
Favorite Robbie Williams song out of interest?
Rock DJ.
Rock DJ. Do you know
Although
mine?
Feel was good.
Mine is No Regrets.
No Regrets is a good one. It's a really good. Millennium's also a really good one.
But No Regrets is, the lyrics are really good, I think.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I put my headphones in and I put Angels on because I thought, let's play the song. And I'm walking along like,
That's a good one.
and it hit us all of a sudden like, fuck me.
Yeah.
That he's this guy that I'm mates with now as well, and he
didn't
did
even
all
write
that.
this song.
And then I was like, what a life he's had.
Yeah.
And now he's met me onwards and upwards. So
In a way.
Nah.
I suppose the only way is up.
you can't hero worship everyone. You just have to treat people like people, because even celebrities who do greatness, they're just fucking people. And the Shearer podcast was the most stress I've ever been under, because I idolized him. I wanted him to be me fucking dad growing up. Like, just literally couldn't have worshipped anyone more. So before I come in this room, when we did the podcast with him, I remember sitting there thinking, just treat him like a fucking bloke, otherwise you're gonna fuck this up royally. And then after that I thought, alright, I've actually achieved something there and did a really good podcast with someone I've idolized. From now on, just treat every situation the same. But with Robbie, it was different because Robbie's so personable, and I've emailed him for that long. I didn't even have to try to be relaxed. I was fucking horizontal. Do you know what I mean?
And all that weed.
All the joints he gave us. Brilliant.
We didn't smoke weed with Robbie Williams. That's the next one.
When we're in LA.
I did actually come up with a lot of questions when I was listening back to the podcast, like, just stuff that I wanted to ask him now.
I did as well.
And looking back, thinking, what should I say
3
here?
hours,
What should I say? Yeah.
I mean, we were there for about 7-8 hours or whatever it was during the. But in 3 hours, it shows you can't even cover his life.
Yeah.
At all.
And not even a fraction
even
of
get
it.
near it.
Yeah. Because there's so much more to ask, isn't there? I love how the sirens stop exactly outside the window.
So yeah, I
And his
wanted
dad
to
was
know
nice.
more about him as the family man and things like that moving forward. So the next one I want to do that stuff.
I really enjoyed his dad coming in at the end, because he was like this.
He's lovely, isn't he?
He's like a classic entertainer. It was like watching.
So many people said just one podcast with his dad.
Yeah, but I feel like all we'd need to do is just go, welcome, and he'd just go. So I was in the bar the other night, and then he's off, and he's like, he does a 2-hour set, and then we just go, brilliant.
It really would be like that.
End the podcast.
He is such an entertainer.
Yeah.
I've since then I've been watching more of him and his dad singing together.
Yeah,
on
they're
YouTube.
quite good, aren't they? I looked him up as well. It's quite nice.
Fuck off, man.
He's trying his best. He's just trying to get
Honestly,
somewhere really quick. Those Ubers really do a good job, though.
I've been having a lot of issues with Uber lately. They really piss me off.
TFL. Yeah.
They really piss me off.
Why?
Because they're shit. Most of them don't have a fucking clue where anything is in London, and I'm fucking sick of them. Such wankers.
You
Don't get us wrong, you get the odd one who's lovely, like a chatty guy, he's just happy fucking doing his job, not a problem. But then so many, one guy said, I just feel like switching the car off and walking away. I thought, oh, you do you? Tell us about it, pal.
Wait, sorry, he just said that to you?
Because he was in traffic and that.
Right.
Pissed
That's a really
off.
weird thing to say,
Yeah,
isn't
he
it?
was pissed off.
That's a really weird
I
thing
was
to say.
pissed off as well.
Did you give him 5 stars for that?
Did I? Fuck, I don't even rate them. I've got better things to be doing than rating Uber
It's
drivers.
just a little click.
Fuck them.
And if you agree, you both get 5 stars. and that raises your rating, which I know still annoys you.
I've met a couple of nice ones, but many of them are just useless twats.
But ideally, what would Uber be like then? Because I think it's not a terrible service. Sometimes you get in the car and
just
it's
know
not
where
a nice car.
know London. Just know London.
They've got an iPhone. Why do they need to know London?
Some of them can't work the iPhone, man.
No, that is a problem. You're right. Yeah. Waze. They have something called Waze, which is like a map system. Doesn't really. I feel like you're a little bit harsh on the Uber drivers.
Yeah,
they're
maybe,
the hard-working ones.
Maybe.
They work so hard.
Just the nice ones, I do.
Yeah.
I like the nice ones.
Yeah.
Do you want to talk about Antoine Griezmann?
What is there to say about that? What is there to say about a man who blacked up?
No, but the point is, what we're just saying about Robbie is
he's never blacked
we've got someone who he's got people who worship him, who really should be in a bubble. He's much richer than Antoine Griezmann, for fuck's sake. And
not for much longer, Barcelona.
And let's be honest, yet still keeps himself grounded and self-aware. And then there's Antoine Griezmann, who thinks it's okay as a professional footballer, who just because you've got the Harlem Globetrotters thing on, he's thinking people might not get this.
Yeah. They might not think I'm a basketball player if I'm wearing the full uniform.
So what can I do to sort of fill in the blank?
Yeah, get me the Sharpie. And
I'm laughing only because of how dumb this guy must be. Like literally, how offensive and is his actions? Would you say?
Well, we run. I do this other football podcast, and obviously you and I do the football thing, so we're quite in that sphere of football. And a lot of people tweeted me to say it's not racist. Silly.
I don't think he is racist. I think he's just very stupid.
I think he's done something racist.
I don't know if it's racist. I don't know. I don't know how to put that label on it. But offensive is the word I would use to people. Obviously,
on a very fundamental level, the thought of blacking up,
wearing,
to pay tribute to someone is quite a sweet idea. Do you know what I mean by that?
In that he obviously isn't meaning to offend people and wants to go the whole hog.
Yeah. But also in the context of... Probably not great. In the context of history, blacking up's terrible.
Because back in the day, people used to do it.
Yeah. And also people see it in some ways, I guess, as there's an element of cultural appropriation there, or sort of co-opting ideas.
Well,
and
one thing a lot of the
sorts
people were responding was, my skin colour is not a costume. And that's all you need to say, really, at that point. As soon as he hears that, But I can't believe he even was allowed to get... How many yes men must he have around him to allow this to even happen?
Here's the even better thing, is he didn't even delete the tweet straight away. He tweeted something else in defence of it.
And he was like,
which said,
don't take me seriously.
Friends, don't take it seriously. It's just a tribute. I was like, you're not fucking Jack Black. Do you know what I mean?
This is the greatest song in the world.
This is just a tribute. And then he deleted it and said he was very sorry to anyone who's offended.
that my favourite picture. Did you see Harry's picture? Wrote a show
where he packed him. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, Harry's one of the funniest tweeters gone, man. Oh.
Blacking up, and most of the people who tweeted me were not. The thing is, I think in a certain part of the world, we see that as offensive, and we understand why. Spain is part of that part of the world. Spain is a slightly different culture to England. I also think
Spain
England
aren't quite where we are they?
No, it's much warmer.
No, you know what I mean in regards to England.
Culturally, I don't think it's quite the same. But then he's got the French connection as well, so he's clear. He has, and I don't want to say, he has black friends. Do you know what I mean? He knows not to do this.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
You'd also think in that someone's taken that picture and gone, "That's a great idea."
Yeah.
Either that, or he set the phone up really well on the side.
What you can do, if there's girls out there who are sort of wanting to take pictures for their boyfriend, if you just put your phone on...
Don't black up.
No. If your boyfriend's got a thing for black girls, you're fucked if you're not black. You will eventually go that way.
Well, I mean, maybe not. Maybe he's a committed young man.
But if you want to take pictures of yourself, video recorder, just pop the video record on, put the phone on the side, maybe on a bench,
put your Harlem Globetrotters uniform on.
But this isn't about that.
Right.
Pose for him.
Right.
You know,
in the uniform.
Not in any uniform, and then stop the video, screenshot the pose that you want to send to him, and then you've got your selfie. Because a lot of girls, they feel like they've got to pose in the mirror or whatever. You don't have to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Does video not lower the quality of it?
It does, but you know, as men, we want the pose we want, don't we?
Right.
So,
are you quite a a director of posers?
Sometimes you just want what you want.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
And if I want Harlem Globetrotters shirt on a girl while she's bending over, showing her ass, then you got to do that
in a sporting scenario. Yeah.
And what?
She's going for the slam dunk.
I must admit, if a girl did put on a Newcastle shirt or something like that and pose, I think that would be quite hot.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, not a Newcastle shirt.
But ironically, that was one of the few things I used to like about Soccer AM. So when we slayed Soccer AM when they brought out the Soccerette, but sometimes they had a really banging Soccerette girl.
Right. That was a horrific part of the show.
It was the only bit I would have fucking kept.
Yeah. where Tim Lovejoy just goes, that was quite and then she sort of strutted around awkwardly as a load
But she was just usually page 3 girl or whatever, you know what I mean?
Were they?
A lot of them are some of them were real fans, obviously, as they went on. But
a lot of people watching this won't know what Soccer AM is.
If we get the big sponsorship deal from the big porn site,
right? Do we have to have that?
Have just one of them come in every week modelling.
Oh yeah. And then I'm sitting there just going, and you're just there going,
who do you think you are?
You're just in the background pouring champagne.
Oh God, I would honestly, because the thing is though, it's like, what if I end up in the porn circle? I would love to do.
What's the porn circle?
The Circle of Trust. Right. I'm thinking go to an AVN Awards.
What's that?
Which is the biggest porn awards. It's like the Oscars for the porn lot.
Anal, vaginal, masculine.
Like best anal
awards.
scene is like an award that gets given out. But I think.
What does that stand for?
Con, would you be up for coming and just holding the camera? And I go around. You don't have to come because I know it's not really your scene. And interview all the porn girls and that.
Take this away.
Wouldn't that be great though? Or we could do a documentary maybe for the channel.
A documentary on pornography is an interesting.
I think that would be cool as fuck.
Yeah.
We get the good side, the bad side.
What is your opinion on porn?
Without it, my life wouldn't have been as bearable at times. To be honest with you. Oh God. Yeah.
Porn. Would you go as far as to say porn saved your life?
No. Right. It's an essential for me.
Right.
The thing is,
Brian's essentials.
No, but the thing is, as men, and this is the thing, there's some girls you just shouldn't fuck, right? They'll drag you into issues, right?
Right.
We've seen that on some recent podcasts. Some girls are going to be problematic for you and cause problems. And as I found out since some podcasts recently, some relationships aren't ideal as they may seem.
Why are you looking me dead in the eye when you say that?
Because I'm trying to get a message across to you
about another podcast. Which one?
Anyway.
God. Jay was happily married.
Moving on.
Right.
So some girls aren't right for you, and they may cause problems
Not
for
Robbie.
you.
Robbie's an
no man.
Yeah.
You couldn't. Yeah. And the way around that is, we all have urges as men, and sometimes I remember, especially when I was younger, I'd be sitting there and I'd think, I'm horny. I'm going to pick the phone up and dial this girl, even though I know a whirlwind of shit is going to fucking come with it. You fuck her, and then afterwards, you've got the headaches and all the issues. Porn is a good way of getting rid of those sexual urges without having to get yourself involved with certain girls.
Do you find it as satisfying as real sex?
No, no fucking way.
Yeah.
But sometimes I can prefer it.
Just because of the lack of a headache afterwards.
No, it's
either that or there's a little video sometimes they'll send you after you've watched the porn of the girl just complaining at you, just to make it feel more real.
Oh God!
Or the guy, whatever you want. Or the guy.
No, sometimes what I mean is sometimes
they'll text you intermittently. Where are you?
Sometimes I'll being brutally honest, I want to fuck a girl for a good fucking good hour, really blow the fucking brains out of it, and I've got the energy, and I really need to. I want to feel like I can't fuck anymore, but then sometimes just a quick wank's all I've got time for in the day. Do you know what I mean?
And then you're
starting a business. You know what I mean? It's got to be done.
You can't be taking hours anymore.
You got to keep the blood flow below the belt.
But you also have to work hard, play hard.
Work hard, play. I'm just drinking a lot, to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
So a wank basically really takes care of a lot of problems. Do you know what I mean? You can't always be spending time with women. You need to just not. If you want to be successful. Ironically, wankers are seen as losers, but I guarantee the most successful men are probably wanking a lot more than they're fucking.
Do you think?
Well, yeah, because you're not spending all your time with women and fucking around and all
I've met
that.
so many men in miserable relationships recently. The amount of them
God,
that
I
go,
have as well.
The amount of them that go, yeah, you will really, when you get older, you'll understand.
Yeah, I met a guy. I've met a dude who regrets a lot. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Give him Robbie Williams' song, No Regrets. He'll feel way better.
No regrets.
Give the gift of Robbie Williams this Christmas.
They only hurt.
What's your favourite Robbie Williams album?
Greatest Hits.
Yeah.
Best of
Robbie Williams. For me as well. / Now that's what I call music.
Do you know what I realised when I watched that? I didn't really praise him for his musical achievements.
That was Fatboy Slim.
Praise you.
That was actually a really good song, wasn't it? Do you think we can get... What was his name?
Robbie's listening now. He's like, just about to get me praise finally.
Yeah, just about to get my praise. And I go, Fatboy Slim, now that was a fucking genius. Yeah? Renegade Master. That was so good. Did he do Renegade Master? He did, didn't he? Yeah, that was a really good song.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to just download that now because that was a really good song back in the day.
But yeah, basically, you got to keep wanking. Do you know what I mean? That's the way forward.
Right, yeah. Put that on a t-shirt. Have you had any more ideas for t-shirts?
Yeah, I've got fuck tons, mate.
Renegade.
We're starting a business, so cheers to that.
Do you ever worry that your iPhone's listening to you?
Cheers to that.
Do you ever worry your iPhone's listening to you?
Nah.
Good. Me either.
We're starting a business next year.
You'll see.
Can we reveal anything? Not even anything?
No, that's what I love about it, is the people that we're coming for, you will not see us coming. We're going to Titanic the shit out of you.
One of the guys I had a meeting with last night,
Geordie, dead ahead.
He's like, I'm sick. He says, I'm sick of these other companies who are ahead of us, and we feel like we're just like
men, women, and children first. All the YouTubers just getting into lifeboats, and you're just carving your way down the side of the fucking YouTube Titanic,
without moving.
Shit.
Without moving.
No. Suddenly we see, other fan cam channels on doors floating in the sea. Robbie's holding on as hard as he can. Claude's on the door, obviously, and he's going, "Oh, there's not enough space on the door, Robbie. There's not enough space on the door." And Robbie's like, "I'm pretty sure." He's holding the mic with one hand. "I'm pretty sure there is, Claude. I'm pretty sure there is." And Claude,
we don't want to do anything to Arsenal Fan TV, for the record. We're not getting into the fan cam business. They're safe.
But it was just a joke. It was still a funny joke that Robbie's in the water in a full tracksuit.
I don't imagine Robbie would be the best swimmer in the world. Still in
a full. I actually think Robbie's quite a powerful guy. I've seen him boxing.
Yes, I don't think that makes for a good swimmer.
Okay,
honestly, I've
seen him. Robbie. For some reason, I subscribe to Robbie's Man Like Robbie channel. I've seen him. That's got some of the best videos on. Robbie's there in the water. Claude, do you think we could have done better? I thought you were
describing one of the actual...
No. Do you think we could have done better in steering the ship?
Went, this is the shittest pod.
Robbie...
Will these cunts fuck off?
There's a high terror alert in London at the moment, and there's an ambulance. Yeah.
Really?
I was filming yesterday.
Can they not have a break? It's fucking Christmas.
I was filming yesterday.
Fucking
Victoria. Well, that's what I said. Who the fuck radicalises Christmas?
I'll tell you what.
All these little elves out there, just furious.
Trying to deliver fucking presents.
No, I was thinking, my joke was more that the elves were radicalised.
Delivering bombs.
Yeah, God. If something happens in the meantime...
So we're starting a business anyway. And I'm really looking forward to it. Next year's going to be good.
It's going to be called Amazon Prime.
And we've got something...
Fuck's sake.
Shut the fucking window, mate, honestly.
Is it not already shut?
No.
Oh, right, okay. It's still going to be pretty bad.
We'll wait until it finishes.
Siren, isn't
for these fucking cunts.
You'll still be able to hear it.
Yeah, we'll still be able to hear it a little bit. So we're starting a business. Don't look too happy about it. It's going to be called Google Now.
So we can't say nothing.
Nope. And that's what I love about it. Titanic.
People knew about Titanic though.
Yeah, they knew about the Titanic, but they didn't go, that'll sink.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. If anything, and this is the best bit about it, and that's why it's such a good analogy.
They didn't know about the iceberg.
They said, that's the unsinkable ship. And there are people in YouTube going, we are unsinkable. And then we come along and go, no. And suddenly, 15 holes in your chest. What?
So one person who thought that they were
Unsinkable.
unbeatable or whatever.
Tyson Fury.
Do you know how we had that lad on who likes to jump off of buildings and climb
Nightscape.
buildings? Yeah.
And you said, be careful who you inspire. And then, out of nowhere, someone died in Japan.
Did you hear about that? It was
Yeah.
China, so
Right, okay.
not Japan. That's the mistake I usually make, not you.
I've only heard
Have
this.
you seen
I've been told this secondhand, so
Have you seen it?
they told me Japan.
Have you seen the video?
Yeah. Also, I read The Sun.
Have you seen the video?
What, of them dying?
So he was a YouTuber. Can I show you it? Because it really fucked me up watching it, and I need you to see it.
Great.
So will you watch it? I don't.
Wait, is he actually going to
you-
fall off a building?
Can you explain what's happening here?
Oh, no.
Can you explain what's happening?
There's someone on the top of a building.
Is it like it looks like a skyscraper,
Right on the edge. Oh, God. This is going to be already...
It really
my heart
fucks
is
me
beating
up.
out my chest. Why is he doing this? Why is he cleaning the building?
I think he might be sort of getting his grip. What he's trying to do is prove sort of or whatever here. This really fucks me up though. What is he doing here?
This is such a terrible... That's a terrible idea. He's lowering himself over the side of the building right
So
now.
he's off the side of the building.
He's gonna lose his
hanging
grip,
by
isn't he?
his hands, but he seems quite confident here. He does like a pull up.
We can't see his face.
No, but he does a pull up here, and he seems quite assured that he's got himself.
My heart's beating so fast.
I know,
right
it's
now.
fucking
This is
awful.
horrible. You're going to lose it, and you...
So then he
What
pulls
are you
himself.
doing?
Then he pulls himself back up and he starts doing pull ups to prove his strength.
Yeah.
And now he wants to get back up, and he's struggling. He's struggling somewhat. Now he can't pull up. His strength's gone. His arms have gone.
And now he's panicking.
This is live streaming.
Wait, was this on a live stream?
This is on a live stream. His
This
arms
is
have gone.
horrific.
He can't get back up.
And dead. Why do you look so happy?
Nah, it really fucked me up when I watched it. I was like, and then I thought of Nightscape straight away after that, and I thought to myself,
He'd never do pull-ups on the side of a building.
no, but I mean, Nightscape is a smart lad, so you'd hope he wouldn't take that kind of chance. But I've seen him take chances before, and you think to yourself, when people do this shit, like, how can you have sympathy for when it goes wrong? Because you know the risk involved. It's like playing poker and losing all your fucking money. Like, that is part of the game. You can be the hero or the zero, and the more times you do that sort of thing, the more likely it is that one day you're not going to land it and you are going to fall.
But it also feels less likely because you've done it more. So I guess...
In the mind, yes.
In the mind. And I guess...
But it is a little bit like playing that roulette, isn't it?
Russian roulette a little bit. But then also I guess that part of the point to counter that would be some people are very experienced, some people go through a whole life of doing that, never fall, never even think about it, and never have that problem, but that one person is going to have that problem. They seem quite young. That was quite a young looking body.
I mean, he looked about 18, 19.
Yeah, he looked very he looked like a young guy, not an old guy.
I can't help but feel like it was like almost suicide by stupidity.
Death by stupidity. They didn't. Suicide's a little bit of.
I don't know if that's the word for it.
Yeah.
Suicide is when you try to kill yourself, rather.
Yeah.
Death by stupidity.
They definitely didn't help themselves.
Yeah. I mean, what?
Again, though, there are daredevils in the world. I feel like when society is small enough, then we can sort of you can sort of rationalize things. But there's enough people in the world that actually people are going to do stupid things, and some people are daredevils, some people aren't. I feel less terrible about it now. Like, obviously I feel terrible about the situation, but I'm also a bit like, well...
Oh, you're a fucking idiot, mate. Yeah.
You're the daredevil. You put yourself over the side of a building, and you knew what the risk was.
Yeah.
I guess when you're young, you just feel invincible in a sense, and you don't...
That fucking freaked me out, that. Like, I was like, imagine the moment when he let go, though.
Because he also jumped away from the building. Maybe do you think he was trying to aim for another ledge or something?
Maybe,
to try and
I
get
don't
there?
know. That was it, though.
Do we know that person died? But it was in China, so you don't know.
Well, it's on the news.
Have you seen Jurassic Park?
It's on the news.
but it's in China, so we don't know.
No, but he definitely died because it's on the news that he died.
The news has lied before.
Yeah, maybe.
The news has said a lot of lies.
Maybe.
A lot of lies.
People have been tweeting in saying what they want us to talk about.
What's your biggest achievement of 2017? Oh, that's a dark one.
Yeah. It's a nice thing to say that there's a lot of things to choose from there.
Yeah.
For me, and you. We did 500,000 subscribers on the channel, which was a really good thing, and that was my aim at the start of the year, and I actually thought it was a little bit unrealistic. And
why?
We're actually closer to 600 now than 500, so that's good. I don't know. It's at the start of the year, I just looked at how many subs I was getting, and I thought, if I do everything I want to do, I'll probably be around about 500 if I'm lucky. And that was me thinking that would be really good. So that's good. I'm proud of that. I don't care about subs anywhere near as much now, because I noticed that I think when you start chasing subs, your content becomes more about getting new people to watch rather than just making good content. We've had some really good guests on the podcast. Couple of big names. Stephen tries. Bobby Williams. Alan Shearer. I think the Alan Shearer one was a real moment, because it was like my hero on me podcast with me, and I think everyone shared in that moment.
Yeah.
If you were a fan of me or a friend or anything like that, because everyone knew, like, this is a guy who's come from zero to now he's got fucking match of the day pundit and all-time Premier League goal scorer in his pod. That was a real moment. I think what we've just done before the year's out is big. We're now shareholders in a company, and we're moving much bigger in our future plans. So
The Coral deal. Don't forget Coral.
The Coral deal was
Shout
really
out to
good.
Coral and Elliot.
No,
Well
the
done.
Coral deal was, because that was a company took a chance on us, and we proved that we are capable of doing everything we think we are. And really, in terms of structure of that deal, what people don't know is, like, most people who get deals like that are massive companies or big YouTube companies, and we did that just me and you, with the help of our friends at Formidable, but we landed the deal just
We
on
were such brave little bisons.
on my own too. Oh god. So we landed that on our own too.
You did also put out a video at the beginning of the year, the holiday. So that's in
football
2017.
The football holiday was my favourite video of 2017 that we've made.
Excluding a podcast. So excluding the Robbie Williams.
Yeah,
and,
that was my
shit.
favourite thing that we've made, and I wanted to make more of those. Schedules hasn't
Not yet.
made
We're
for-
lining stuff up.
But 2018, I think we're going to make a lot more of those with what we've got in mind.
I'm going to meet Will and Stephen after this. We're going to be so pissed at our heads.
Yeah, Will and Stephen are coming.
Should we save this for when they arrive and we can give them a little bit for Christmas?
No, we'll just buy more in a bar.
Okay. That's the great thing about alcohol.
You can buy more everywhere, baby.
Yeah.
So, I think
2.5 hours until sunset.
for the year, I know this is a shambolic pod. It's the end of the year. We're having a drink. It's Christmas.
It was bad before we started drinking. That's the worry.
No, yeah. For me personally, I think the thing that was the biggest moment was Alan Shearer on the podcast. Absolutely. For me, because I never thought I would. I believe in myself, but sometimes it just doesn't seem real when shit like that happens to us, because at the same time I'm still that fucking 8-year-old who worships this guy within myself. So that was the moment where I was like, actually I can do anything I set my mind to, or not anything, but almost anything. Like what's not doable if I can do that? Do you know what I mean? So that gave me the self-belief to think,
I can do anything.
I can't do anything. Fuck me, but
No, you can't climb a building.
yeah, I
do
don't want to climb a building.
Yeah.
But that gave me the self-belief, so that when I did the Robbie podcast, I was so confident and calm. And now when I step in rooms, nothing can intimidate me because I nailed that interview. Do you know what I mean?
What would Robbie do?
So that was a really great year, but that was the moment where I feel like, oh fuck me, this is a milestone and a half. That I think people will look back at that in a couple of years' time and be like,
wow,
that was a bit of a turning point for us.
And net neutrality, what do you think about that?
Well, you'll have to explain to us exactly what your definition of it is, because it gets a bit confusing, to be honest with you.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. My definition of net neutrality, and I think the broad definition of net neutrality, is the freedom of information to flow as people...
without being monitored.
Maybe not without being monitored, but without being capped. So the whole idea that they're selling it with in America at the moment is net neutrality or taking away net neutrality means that now service providers will be able to strangle certain things. So if you want YouTube, you'll have to pay extra to be able to get YouTube through. If you want Netflix, you'll have to pay extra to get Netflix fast through your...
They're going to do on the porn again, aren't they?
And they'll probably do it on the porn. Yeah,
fucking cunts.
It'll be mainly the heavy
I'll
HD
tell you what,
side.
these big porn sites, they really need to sponsor us so we can get more people to them.
But the point is that net neutrality is actually really important outside of the market as well, and net neutrality is actually important to just let information go where it needs to go, because it helps with democratizing society. It helps because if you can't afford to get YouTube, then what happens? That doesn't feel fair to me. Do you know what I mean? YouTube should be accessible for everyone, as far as I'm concerned. The internet should be accessible for everyone.
We really need it to be accessible for everyone.
Yeah, and so it's threatening part of what we want to get to.
I think YouTube will go untouched, to be fair, by what I've heard, but it's the other shit that they're going to try and fuck on, the stuff that is anti-government and that.
I think predominantly it'll be used for that. It'll predominantly be also used for that, but also I think people.
But then
will start
where
to
does
charge,
it stop? Isn't it?
And it won't really stop, because
it'll start as a protection thing, and then eventually they'll just strangle it more and more and more.
Let's also say net neutrality is also a good idea in some ways, because it allows information to go at any speed where it needs to go.
Right.
The idea of not having net neutrality is also a good idea, because it means you can have maybe a cheaper iPhone plan for your kids or for you. So if you use YouTube more on one thing, and you want to pay just for YouTube, but you never use, I don't know, Instagram, you don't have to pay for Instagram. Instagram can be a separate part of the package.
Yeah.
So that's not the worst thing either. So you don't pay for Instagram, but you pay for YouTube.
Yeah.
Or you pay less for Instagram because you don't use it as much. I think that's how they're marketing it. I don't think it's true. Net neutrality to me is something I think is quite ideological, but the original idea of the internet was
leave it the fuck alone.
Freedom of movement.
Leave it the fuck alone.
Freedom of movement information.
Yeah.
And it's not you and I it'll directly affect. I think it'll affect poorer people more because they can't afford as much, and therefore it will affect us because we make content for poor people.
Well, let's be honest, we appeal to the everyman. That's what we're here for.
Who's
you know what I mean?
Yeah. The Everyman Theatre is
the everyman and woman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Good.
We're not making content for...
You've changed.
You know. No, I am the everyman, mate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Or woman.
Or woman. Someone's saying we should talk about YouTube Rewind. Do you know what that is? Are you seeing that?
It's a yearly video done by YouTube, which is absolute cack, and no one gives a fuck about.
I mean, that's,
YouTube,
to be honest, that's enough.
YouTubers react to them because they know YouTube basically go, we'll set the trend this week. If you tag your video this, it'll go up.
Right, yeah.
No one cares. KSI was really good in it. A couple of other people were good in it. Throwing gel around. And I don't really like the Paul brothers. So I don't dislike them. I just don't watch them, so I don't really care. Do you know what I mean?
Fine, fair
I
enough.
dislike them a little bit.
Do you?
A little bit.
I actually sat and watched one of their interviews that was done. It's the Breakfast Club did an interview with Jake Paul. And I thought to myself, you know what it is, I thought he was a bit of a dick in the past, but I'm going to give this kid a chance here. And I thought one thing that came across is business-wise, he's got something.
He's switched on.
He is switched on.
I feel like. Do you not feel like?
It's a bit like the Alfie thing. Like, I took an instant dislike to someone without actually giving them a chance, and even if I don't like their content or it isn't made for me,
I don't really like his content yet.
I can appreciate someone who's absolutely wrecking the industry financially.
Rinsing the industry.
Yeah, no, he's making a fucking mint.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to make shit with a bit of credibility, and it's like I'm emptying the sea with a fucking bucket while other people are over there just dumping fucking shit into it. You know what I mean? And he just conducts himself like a fucking dickhead, doesn't he? To be honest with you,
That's part of the problem.
I mean, hey Jake Paulers, like, I mean, just talking like that generally is a little bit annoying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What I guess.
And it's like dabbing on them haters and shit like that, and it's like, mate, like you sound like a fucking wanker.
It sort of works. It works
because he comes across as the douchebag jock. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like the least favourite of all of the characters in any movie.
And any high school sort of
reunion or anything.
TV American shit.
And that's why people love you.
Why?
You're not the high school jock.
What am I then? I don't know.
You're sort of the guy at the side of the class when the high school jock grabs someone, you go, leave him alone.
Do you know what?
Leave him alone, Paul.
Do you know if I was any character from in my mind anyway, the way I sort of act in my own self?
Buzz from Home Alone.
Fuck you cunt.
The tarantula.
I guess in a high school, I never really fitted into even though I was quite strong or whatever. But
do you have a moment in high school where you remember thinking, I really like what's going on here?
I really like what's going on here.
Like, I feel like life's sort of coming together.
Nah, mate, I really struggled in high school.
I don't mean in high school, I just mean in that time in general. Like, it didn't have to be school related, I just mean in those years. Because there's a few times where I think back to that time, and there's a few times where I think I felt really good about myself at that point. Like, really sort of like, life is coming together.
Everything's coming up Millhouse sort of thing.
Yeah, but in a less cheesy,
not in the cliche
way.
way.
Yeah.
Not so genuinely, and I can actually say this and mean it. Only in the last 6 months have I felt that way about my life.
Really?
And ever in my life.
Wow.
I've always felt like a work in progress. Maybe I'm hard on myself, I don't know, or whatever, but I've never felt like there was a moment where I felt like the questions I asked on the podcast were better, the videos I made were a bit better, and I'm still not happy entirely with everything, but I felt like I'm really coming into my own, and I'm and who I am, I know, and what I'm doing, I know where I'm going, I know where I've been, everything makes sense, and I'm like, I've hit this hum, like, where I'm just like in me prime, in the zone. Like, I don't feel like I have any more real major problems. I just have to keep improving any way I can and make more videos, because I'm not doing as many as I'd like to do, or make more the kind of videos that I want to make, but I know that I can do that with who I am now. I don't have to really work that much on who I am. I just have to improve as what I can. But nah, mate, I've just turned 30, and 29 and a half fucking years of that, I've felt like I am not where I want to be, and I'm not what I want to do yet, and I'm not there. And in high school, even more so, I was more clueless and more unaware of where the fuck I was going to end up.
So you weren't very happy in high school?
Nah. Do you know, if I had to pick like a cliche movie role of where I was and what I acted like, what's that film called? 10 Things I Hate About You.
Right.
Do you know Heath Ledger in that movie?
Right.
I was that guy. I wasn't really a jock, but I could
ridiculously good looking.
Not good looking, but I mean personality wise, like I could probably beat the fuck out of the jocks, but I wasn't one of the jocks.
Yeah, you were sort of like that fringe guy.
I was just on the outskirts.
People didn't know quite how to judge.
I could be mates with any crowd, but I wasn't in a crowd. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was just there.
Yeah.
Waiting for it to end. Please.
But you weren't enjoying it.
Nah. Just dwindling.
I don't even mean in the classes. I mean sort of like, you know, what about the social bit? Did you enjoy the social bit?
I had a few moments that were quite amusing. I remember once I went to I got a girlfriend who didn't go to my school, and I went to one of her school parties, and her school was posher and nicer than my school. So when I went to this place, and I was like dressed how I was and that.
How were you dressed?
I was dressed like a chav, basically.
A chav?
A chav.
A chav.
No, I call it chava.
Right. Different.
So we came up with the word chava, and then further south that went, it became chav.
Chav.
It's chava.
Chava.
Anyway, I was dressed like...
Oh, what a chava.
Just, if you're from Newcastle, just take that in for a second, okay?
I'm just saying, like, it sounds like someone from London sort of being like, oh my God, look at that chava. Look over there, guys. Oh my God, look at them. Anyway, back to my salad.
Gok one over.
Yeah. That is an acronym of go wank.
I was dressed.
Figure.
I was just like a wannabe hard boy. All right, so
FUBU jeans.
I had Rockports on, basically. So say no more.
I had FUBU jeans.
All right, I
must have looked ridiculous. Like I was hanging washing out.
I think I wore like French Connection and shit like that. Like
the fragrance or the clothes.
No, like some of their clothes and that.
FC UK across your shirt.
Rockport and Lacoste and shit. Right. So we're talking. Yeah. Anyway, some kid at the party.
Only wankers wear Lacoste.
Some kid at the party had kicked off, and I just went over to him and escorted him out of the party and just threw him out the front door. And I hadn't really done anything other than that. I didn't hit him, but he knew enough to not to hit us or whatever, but like, or try it. But anyway, I just remember everyone looking at us like, you are a fucking maniac.
Yeah.
But I hadn't even done it. I think it was just this thing that I'd given off. And that was quite an amusing time because...
Did you feel quite happy in that moment? Were you a bit like, I'll fuck you all up. I'm a fucking maniac. Come on.
Not really. I thought it was funny that they all thought I was
crazy.
This guy when I haven't even done anything. Like,
did you throw him out the front door, close the door, and go, "Well, that sorted that"? What are you looking at?
A little bit like that, but not quite. I didn't say anything. I was very quiet, and I only talked to my girlfriend at the party. I didn't talk to anyone else.
Was she into?
She was very bubbly, and she was the chatty girl who would talk to everyone. And I was just like sitting there, and I wouldn't say anything to anyone because I thought, I don't fucking know anyone here. If people talk to me, I'll talk back. But I was not. I've never craved attention, and this might sound mental because people think YouTuber loves attention, but I don't crave it at all. But that's you think it's part of the business is to get attention.
I don't think you crave attention. I think people mistake looking to make a connection with people and looking to express a message for attention. And the problem is, if you want to hate on someone, it's very easy to say you're doing it for attention.
That was one of the first things I got told a lot when I started YouTube: attention seeker, by people who didn't understand. I need views to make me fucking videos keep coming.
No, but I don't even think you needed views. I just think it's that a lot of people want to put some people down who want attention, and there's a very fine line between being attention seeking. The thing is, there's actually nothing wrong with us seeking people's attention.
No, I think there's a way and means of doing it. So, for example, what I'm trying to do is create a really good video that people are going to enjoy and put their attention on that video. It's not about me.
But there will be a lot of people who put you down in your life if you make a joke in a party or you wanna have positive attention from people. And I get it. Like, attention is actually something that's at a premium. So most of the time, people's attention...
By that you mean... Yeah. It costs money to get that.
Not only costs money, but it also is actually something that's quite valuable, and we undervalue our attention quite a lot. We'll give attention to loads of different things. We'll give attention to stuff that actually on a daily basis we shouldn't really pay attention to. Twitter's all about where you direct your attention. YouTube's all about where you direct your attention. It's all about, I need to scroll until I find something that's worthy of my attention. I think maybe we don't value that as much as we used to.
But what I'm trying to say is, I'm not the type... Like, I like going out to be with me mates and getting pissed, but like, since the YouTube thing happened, I don't go out anywhere near as much because I know what people think, oh, he thinks he's a fucking A-lister. That's not what I'm saying. But in Newcastle, there's not even that. I'm a YouTuber. We're not even in the list, mate. We're different. We're not even a part of celebrity. We're something else.
Do you ever wonder what people say?
But the point is, I don't go out to try, because I know what it's like on a night out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Someone said to me yesterday, YouTube is the punk rock of the media world, and I'm not sure that I agree with that.
We've been told that by other people as well.
I'm not sure I agree.
I don't think it's quite that, because you've got people like Alfie Days who are anything but punk rock, but it is the alternative to...
He is so punk rock. Alfie Days there, just, eating a bat's head and...
What I'm saying is,
jamming out.
it is the alternative because people are getting famous for reasons other than being in TV shows and music and whatever.
But TV shows are now about getting famous.
Maybe the lines are blurred then, huh?
Yeah, a little bit. Terrible song.
What I was trying to say is, when I was younger, I never felt like I am happy and complete and home. You know what I mean? I just felt like I'm a rolling fucking stone.
If you could talk to that person now, would you change anything about that journey and tell them anything, or would you just sort of let them keep going where they're going?
I definitely required some fatherly advice or some moments there.
Do you think you got that?
No, definitely not. I think I made a lot of mistakes.
So what sort of fatherly advice would you give yourself?
I mean, yes, I wouldn't want to change the direction or anything like that. I'd change too much. But like, I think one of the things I was craving was someone to put us in my place a bit more and, you know, be nicer to your mother and things like that, like when you're frustrated or when a girl's pissing you off. I think one thing I did is I let girls handle me a little bit more in the early years, 16, 17, 18.
What do you mean by handle?
Oh, I got played a little bit. Oh yeah, I definitely...
Did you ever get hit?
No, definitely not. I mean...
no one ever slapped you?
No, no, never, genuinely. But I think the thing is with me, no girl ever wanted to play that game with me.
Right, yeah, because you're quite a big guy.
Yeah, but ironically... I don't know, maybe I slapped them on the arse during sex, but anyway.
That's different. That's respectful.
Well, they love it. But
sometimes, but ask beforehand.
or afterwards. I think we've all been in them positions where you give control to a girl. And what I realised was, like, I just never do that. Never ever do that now.
Why? I'm in control of everything in my life now. I've become a little bit of a control freak, to be honest with you, as I've gotten older. In a good way or a bad way?
It's necessary. Like, right. When you end up, you've got your own business and
necessary
all of that.
For what you want.
I'm all about getting what I want out of life now, and that people might say that is selfish, but I really don't give a fuck, and I don't mean that in an arrogant way. I know that life's short, and you better fucking try and make yourself happy while you're here.
Do you think you have a healthy relationship with women?
I've got a really good relationship with my mother.
Yeah.
Because of that, I kind of hold women to this unattainable standard
right.
of perfection almost, because like when
you really hold her up.
Oh, on top of a mountain, on an island all on our own. No person can even come close to that. But it's like, so I guess I've sort of mentally set a standard in my head that women are never gonna meet.
Why do you now? Because you know that, and you've just said that. Why do you think then you hold that standard, or do you think you want? Do you want them to ever meet that standard?
No, I've done that, and I'm trying to not do that anymore. So what I'm trying to say is, you were just blessed with an amazing mother,
yeah,
and you need to not expect. What problem is when you grow up with someone who you think everyone's mom is like that, and then when you hit 20 and you're like, shit, no one else's mom treats them like this. You're actually really lucky, and you actually take your mother for granted.
How did she treat you differently at that time? Do you think just sort of everything you wanted,
just totally mollycoddled, totally, right. And just I was treated like a prince, like, you know, like just everything that could be done for us was done for us.
Do you ever look at other boys out there now who are growing up, who are that same age, who don't treat their mum with respect? And sort of think you don't know how good you've got it.
No, I do, because what I'm trying to do is, as I've realised as I've gotten older, what a lucky bastard I am,
right.
is I try and pass that message on, especially when I see younger lads. There's a couple of lads who are maybe younger brothers of my mates who I have a word with when I see them mouthing off to their mothers, and I say, fucking stop it, like.
Yeah. Because
the thing is, you never know what's going to happen. You have to take the good people in your life. You have to appreciate them. And what I realised, because I didn't have a dad who was in the room at the time to say, don't fucking talk to your mum like that. And when I was having a bad day, or my hormones were fucking pinging because I was bloody a teenage boy who just sexually fucking frustrated, I would lash out and that. I realised...
Not in a physical way.
No, I would just shout and... I hate you. Yeah. I hate you, like a teenage boy does or teenage girls do to their parents. But now I look back at that and think if I'd had a dad who'd said, don't fucking speak to your mum like that, I wouldn't have done it as much. So what I would try and say to that lad is just appreciate what you've got more. You've got a great life, perfect upbringing. Even though I've had a single mother, it was perfect in my eyes anyway. But I just let myself get out of control of it. So now as a man, I'm realising, all right, this is what happened. You shouldn't, so if I could go back to that 16-year-old boy, I'd just give words of advice like that. Appreciate who's around you more. And don't let... I'd say hold me temper more as well. I think that is a real issue, and it's been like chopping a tree down for me for the last fucking 15 years is to get a grip on this temper, and I'm not there yet, but I'm really fucking trying. I am like really trying, because it's such a weakness in my personality, and it really is, because it's like I've got all of this, like as in a business I've worked for, I'm going places, my dreams are coming true, and yet if someone walks up to me in the street and picks a fight with us, I would probably fight them right there and then in the street. Right. And that is stupid.
Yeah.
Because you have a fight, you get arrested, it's all tits. Everything you've worked hard for, it could be taken away. You know what I mean? And that's all because some random bloke, some random idiot has picked the fight with us, and I haven't had my ego or my temper or whatever it is won't back down.
Right.
And that is a thing I don't like about myself. Because I'm not a UFC fighter, I'm just a fucking podcaster who should let that go.
What does it prove? What does that
It doesn't prove anything.
Yeah.
It's stupid, but in my head, not only do I want to fight them because they've challenged me, I want to really hurt them.
Yeah.
And I want to let them know to never ever do that again. And it's like I need to... So that part of us has always been there, particularly as a 16-year-old lad. So just generally... the anger, just let the go. My anger in the last 15 years has just depreciated massively, and I'm a much happier person. But it's still something I've got to work on, and especially I'd say that of me 15-year-old me. What about you, mate?
What would I say to 15-year-old me? Worry less. Just worry less about stuff.
Yeah.
But then I think that's really great advice, and I think it sticks in there somewhere, but I think
it's
helps.
Hard, isn't it?
I think it also helps to worry a little bit at that age. Like, it helps to go through those emotions and get a hold on them, because actually I think if you don't interact with those, or you don't think of them as real, then you'll never work it out. And I think you have to go through that in order to get to where you want to be.
Yeah. I used to worry a lot.
Go through a terrible...
That's why I kept changing careers.
Right.
Apparently I'm a typical Aquarius. Apparently I don't know how true these star signs things are, but apparently Aquarius chop and change their jobs all the time, and I'm totally like that. And that's why I used to be like, fuck, I'm going to be miserable here after a year of doing whatever I was doing.
You like change then? So when you get into a rhythm there, would you be like, I've got to go?
As soon as I realised I was bored. But then the truth is I was just unhappy.
But you didn't ever think about that at the time?
I was just worrying. I was like, fuck, this is shit. I better get out.
Yeah?
Do you know what I mean?
I guess that's... Yeah. One thing I said to Robbie, which I thought was quite interesting at the time, maybe it isn't interesting, was a lot of the people that we've had on have made identities out of the problems that they've had in their life, and have really built their life around... Not all of them. Some of them have actually found really positive ways to deal with the problems that they had.
And moved on.
Weirdly, I originally thought Sean Atwood would be a real loser. And then
that's not the nicest thing to say in the world.
No, but when I first met him, I thought this guy's not going to be a good podcaster, and I judged him in the wrong way.
Because the way he looked.
Not the way he looked, but also the way he presented himself and his demeanour a little bit.
He comes across as such an ordinary person,
and
he is anything but ordinary.
And I say that, and I judged him as a real loser because I realised he wasn't. If I thought he was a loser, I wouldn't say that because I wouldn't want to upset him.
Of course, you wouldn't say that.
I don't actually think Sean's a loser.
It's weird, you know this. I take people in when they become a podcast guest.
Right, yeah.
A little bit like I care about them after that because they've done me a solid by coming on this show, and it's not easy to make this podcast. So when people give me their time, I don't take it for granted.
And their attention.
And Sean is one of the people. I mean, we've had him on twice. So that speaks volumes. But
and he'll get on a third time.
I mean, I would probably have him on 5 times.
Yeah.
But not only that, he is such a nice bloke as well as a wild man.
Yeah.
That he's my type of company. Like if you're doing. If we're doing a round table at the end of my life where it's like all your favorite podcast guests, I'm pretty sure Sean would be on that table, you know,
yeah.
or you know,
he'd be freaking the rest of the table out, but he'd be on that table.
He's such a nice dude, and
that's the funny thing. But I still.
But you think some people have made identities out of their problems that they've had,
and I guess
him not being one of them.
And
obviously.
I guess I've really been thinking about where we're taking the podcast because I've really sat down and thought like, what are we actually doing with this?
Yeah.
Like the amount of messages that I get every week which are about people's problems, I'm like, and I realised when I was a teenager I thought I had so many problems. I didn't really have that many problems, if any real problem, any problems which are sort of, you know, actually going to affect me in the long term.
Yeah.
And I just sort of thought, if you make an identity out of the problems that you have, that can really help you in the short term, but I hope you don't do that in the long term. I don't mean you, I hope anyone when I'm saying you.
Yeah.
Because if you make an identity out of your problem, you always relate back to that problem, and in some way you're sort of tied down to that anchor of that problem which was there at that time.
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you mean.
And
there's some people who have something happen to them,
and
and they never stop banging on about it for the rest of their life.
Not even banging on, or sort of, there's always some way that they can lead that back to that problem.
And it's not healthy because you don't want to be defined by something bad that happened to you in your life. Also, what you want to be defined by is how you recovered from that and grew and went on to do other things, and that's just part of a story. You don't want it to always be about that thing.
Maybe try not to define yourself by all those problems, or try not to define yourself in such a way which comes from your negatives. And I understand everyone, you know, Gary Vee and all these guys talking about, you know, I overcome my I don't actually watch Gary Vee, so I don't really know what he says. I overcome my problems, I hustle, I do all this, I do all that. I guess my advice to that self would be like, don't make that identity out of those problems, because actually there's loads of other stuff out there.
It's sad because everyone loves a sob story or a recovery from a sob story.
And to some extent,
I like that.
We've benefited on this podcast from all those sob stories.
I admire when people pull their fucking bootlaces and then fucking go and fucking kick ass. Do you know what I mean? But equally, there's a time to let shit go, isn't there?
Yeah.
I've got sob stories I've never fucking told, and I could fucking sit here and have everyone fucking oh, poor Brian. I'm not interested in that. Like, you know what I mean? I like people knowing to a degree about me, but I'm more about where I'm going and what I want to do. Do you know what I mean? And let all that shit go.
I guess even then, like, I guess I'm thinking a lot about where I'm going at the moment, but also where I am right now, like what that is, how good that is. And like, stuff tends to be way better than you think it is. Way better than you think it is, like all the time. And you just get a lot of problems.
I've getting a lot of messages lately on Instagram where it's people who say things like, you don't know how much my podcast is helping you, and that sort of, it does blow your mind a little bit, but then you think, all right, don't get too, you know, it's just a podcast at the end of the day. But also, it is nice to hear that, but then you think,
it's lovely to hear it. But at the same time,
but then you think about what other people are going through equally that you're totally unaware of, while people are just chilling watching this right now, and then they're taking their mind off of their stuff. Everyone's got stuff. We've all got stuff. But what I think you're saying is, don't become that stuff.
Yeah. And don't think that just because we have a lot of guests, and we do have a lot of guests who have had really hard times, that's the only way to get to where you want to go.
No, there's some people who have perfectly good upbringings and smash life, and good for them, and it doesn't take anything away from them because they haven't had hard times. Do you know what I mean?
It's also interesting because I was chatting to a few people the other day about like Eastern Europe and people who used to be under the Iron Curtain and like USSR, that whole area. And those guys don't talk about being depressed. They don't talk about being low. They don't talk about any of those things because those aren't definitions in that culture.
No.
It's literally just like, yeah, you're probably sad, you know? And I think we do make a lot, and we are bombarded every day with articles about my depression, your depression, how you could be depressed, how all these kind of things. I'm not saying that's not important. There's an important side to that. Some people are very severely depressed. I think we could just make less of it, and we could show people a more positive way. And I think if you show people that more positive way, they're less likely to be depressed.
Agreed, mate.
And if you're not depressed, that's not a bad thing, because I think some people out there watch One Tree Hill and whatever else, and they think, if I'm not this dark character that's had some sort of angst to get to where I am, somehow my life's not valid in some way. They're having a bad day. They are. They're having a fucking bad day. There's someone in the back of that ambulance who's having a much more terrible day, and that's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying someone's having the worst day from you, so don't feel lucky about yourself. I'm just saying,
I'm thinking of that line on Bono sings on the Christmas, "Thank God it's them instead of you." Well, can we just ask for it to be nobody, Bono?
Is that ironic though?
No.
Is he ironic? Is he ironically singing that?
No, he's not. They actually had to change that in the up of the.
What did they change it to?
Something like.
You're thankful. You're not fucking Bono. You'd be a fucking prick. I've heard Bono's a nice guy. I've not heard anything about Bono.
What should we talk about next? Let's have a think.
Next up, something slightly less deep. This one's called My Special Fetish.
Mate, I'm looking forward to this already.
Finishing the year on a strong one. Cheers to you.
Cheers, everyone.
What do you want to call him? Santa. Hi, Santa. He gives a load of praise and he says, so basically I've heard from one of my mates that there's a girl who likes me, but I don't really like her, even though she's a solid 7 out of 10. The thing is,
you kind of knock a 7.
I'm not really interested in her body type, as I prefer the curvier BBW women. Also,
me too, mate.
I think I'm
hashtag me too. I don't think that was the real reason that was started, but we're using it.
Here's the bit. I think I might have a fetish for hairier women. It just turns me on. A bit.
I've been with a hairy girl before.
There's a girl who fits my agenda.
You weren't expecting that, were you? She's shaved everywhere. So.
But if I was seen with
I didn't
her,
ask her to shave, she just did it.
Really?
I was like, yeah, you can just rock out with your cock out me. She didn't have a cock, but I just mean like, you can do whatever you want. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't
jam out with your clam out.
I'm not the type of dude who, if a girl's got a full bush to be, I wouldn't give a shit, to be honest with you. Right. But I think she was a bit conscious that other people see that she was
Barbara Bush.
You know what I mean?
But if I was seen with her, I think most of my friends would make fun of me. Also, I don't think my mum would
what
approve.
The fuck? Is seen with a 7 out of 10?
Yeah, no, sorry. As the other girl though, the hairier girl that fits his agenda.
Oh, he's got a. Is she there?
I guess so, but I guess he says she's a lesbo.
So the girl he fancies is a lesbian.
I also think my friends would tell her that my nickname is Heavy D because there's a rumour going around that I've got a micro penis.
Right.
Even though their mum thinks otherwise. I don't know what that means. But they sarcastically call me Heavy D. So there's a terrible rumour going around. This guy's got a cocktail of terrible things going on. A, he's got a girl that likes him. She's a 7 out of 10. Awful. Secondly, he likes hairy, fat women or curvier women. And C, the woman he likes is a lesbian. And D, Heavy D, he's got a micro penis.
No, he hasn't. They're joking that he has.
Yes.
I mean, I wouldn't worry about that because that's obviously rubbish. But
what's going to happen about that? How would you dispel rumours that you have a micro penis? You've dealt with this.
I would say fuck the girl. The 7 out of 10 would be my first thing.
Why?
But
what if he's not attracted to her?
But just hammer the hell out of her, and then everyone will know.
Right. Not everyone's a sexual god that you are.
I'm not a god.
Right. Just a demigod.
Just a king.
Right. Not everyone's the sexual person
Deviant.
that you are. Yeah.
All right. If you just want to fuck her.
How'd you get the hairy BBW?
No, to be fair, I mean, there's bound to be girls out there who are on the chubby, hairy side. So.
Do you think he means hairy all over?
I don't know where the hair is that he likes.
Do you mind hair under the armpits?
I'm not really keen on that. I'd rather they shave the armpits.
What if she sort of, carried it off? She was a bit like, yeah, cool, look at this.
No, but there are some girls who have a little bit of hair on their arms. Do you know when you're sitting there and you sort of at a dinner table and you look at a girl and you're like, especially if they're dark haired, that you notice it a lot more.
Do you not like that?
I don't care, but I'm just saying some people would.
I find it weird when people think that bodies are hairless.
Like, I remember Kim Kardashian said once something like, "Oh, I'm a really hairy woman because of where I'm from." Like me,
She's
Middle Eastern, isn't she?
Yeah.
Her family bloodline are. Anyway, I think
Kardashian.
but some men insist women are hairless, apparently.
Yeah.
Because I've gone with girls before and I've been like, yeah, just shave, don't shave, I don't really give a fuck, downstairs and that. And they're like, what, you don't care? And I'm like, not bothered. And some men...
Can I put it in now?
Some men just insist that they're like not a hair on them, you know what I mean?
But then those men, hairy as shit.
Yeah, hypocrites. So
they should have a hairless penis.
What I'm thinking is, maybe if you go on the internet, there's bound to be girls out there who will. You just have to, look on the sites and that.
Do you think he should worry about what his friends would say to him if he did get with the one that he calls a lesbo?
Well, if that's his type, and she's not a lesbian and will go with him,
right,
then who gives a fuck what your mates think?
Because you can say, I like her.
I really hate when mates take the piss out of one of their mates for the girl that they're with. I think that's fucking out of order. However, like, I'm not being funny, but if you think every single lass you're going to fuck your entire life's going to be a 10 and you're talking shit, do you know what I mean? And quite honestly, if she makes you fucking nut, who gives a shit what your mates think about?
Do you really think that? But do you not? Now, this is a big question. Do you not think?
I used to be this way.
Live and breathe.
I used to be this way, and that's what annoys me because I was the same. I remember when I was at school, there was a fat girl I fancied, and I was worried that my mates would be like, "What are you going with the fat girl for?"
But I fancied hello.
I was quite chubby myself, to be fair, but more chubby than I am now. But I was meaning like,
good God.
Only at school, I lost it, to be fair. It was after a while.
Really?
Then gained it later. But I was thinking...
Walk through the shadow of the valley of...
I'm just going to have a drink right now. I'm quite...
You're quite gone, aren't you?
No, I was drinking loads last night and I've realised I've only had cereal. And now I'm on the fucking...
What kind of cereal do you have? Cocoa Pops?
Frosties.
Frosties? Wow. Big man. Yeah, but
what I'm saying, right? I mean, how old is he? He's 16.
Sorry, he's
16.
He's not 16. He's close to. He hasn't put his age.
Anyway, I think I say this for all lads out there: don't ever take a piss out with one of your mates because he fancies a girl who isn't your type. Be grateful he doesn't want what you want. Less competition.
Brilliant.
Right? Let you each go and get whatever you want. If he wants to fuck a fat hairy girl, and I've done that before.
What was that like?
It was good. She was fucking great in bed. She was a demon. Kim. Absolute demon in bed. Go and fucking do it. Do you know what I mean? I recommend it.
Right.
Don't get me wrong.
Because there's different...
The skinny, hairless girls are fucking just as good.
Right.
They're all women are just inside wet and warm. So who gives a shit what's on the outside at the end of the day?
Right. And that, I think, is the overall message we want you to take from today's podcast. Would you say, I mean, and as well...
Here's one thing I've got to say right now.
Men are also just big dicks.
Can I just say, some people think because a girl's fat that she's not going to be tight. One of the tightest girls, if not the tightest girl I've ever been with was a fat girl.
Her name was Constantina.
So... Not con.
Right.
So just saying, don't judge a girl by anything like that. You know what I mean?
Right. I guess I'd never really thought about that. But now I have. There's two things that made me feel horrifically sick today. That guy falling off the side of the building and you talking about being tight and wet and warm.
I couldn't believe it. I was shocked.
I know. What, when you're having sex? Or
Yeah, I was like, fuck, this is so tight. I can barely get it in, honestly.
Wow.
She was fucking tiny. But she was huge.
Right.
She was a size 20. She was a dress size 20.
Is that big? That's quite big, isn't it?
Trust me, mate, that's big.
That's voluptuous, I think is what you say.
That is big, but
that, you don't have a problem with that?
She was great.
It's just a comment. It's just an observation rather than a comment.
I mean, they're all smaller than me, right?
Yeah. What are you, size 20?
I've never tried a woman's dress on, but she certainly wasn't 4 stone.
Rihanna's
gotten thick lately. I'm liking that.
I think those are just Instagram edits.
Thick. Thick girls.
Do you think, though, that don't always just value sex, value good sex. If you can get with a partner who really gives you really good sex, you won't. That's really good value.
Later in life, I've learned jumping from girl to girl, it doesn't give you the best scenario. Having a girl who you can regularly have sex with, who knows you and you know her,
and you feel intimate and you can look each other in the eye.
To be honest, that's where you're going to get most of the best sex from. So,
but then there's also the issue, and here's part. How do you deal with this? That some people in relationships always think, I could get better sex than this, and actually what they don't realise is they're having amazing sex right now.
I don't know, like, if you're thinking you can get better,
right?
What do you mean?
Right, if you think you can get better, then the likelihood is the sex you're having isn't that good.
Probably,
right. I understand.
I've
just had a conversation with guys where they've been like, I feel like I can have better sex than I'm having, and you're like, well, mate, there's no more way to find out.
I think when the
grass is always greener. I'm just saying that.
I sometimes you get a bit bored of what you're looking at. I think
you?
Especially if you're a porn watcher, you sort of get used to watching this different girl every night, and then when you're having sex with a woman, it's the same girl over and over and over again.
Sleeping emoji.
I don't know. I don't really have bad sex generally because...
Good to know.
How do I say this without sounding like a twat? I'm in the driver's seat mainly, so I know what I'm getting out of the situation.
You have a lot of sex in a car.
And I make sure that I'm putting it down.
Did you fix your car, by the way?
The car's fixed.
Cool.
Sadly, I give up the old BM7 series. I really love that. I want to get one.
You want an R8?
I want an Audi R8's the dream car, but I don't know when I'll be able to afford one of them.
Can I just check? Have you ever tried to fit into an R8?
I have.
Okay, good.
So basically, for those who don't know, I took an R8 for a test drive when I was really poor, and I just pretended like I'd inherited money.
This was 3 weeks ago.
It was 2011.
Wow.
And I drove it around, and I was like, I fucking need to have one of these one day. And then I got out and thought, and I never will.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping.
And then you threw the keys back to the guy and went, "See you later, sucker."
I'm hoping I can do what some of these YouTube twats have done and really milk YouTube in the next few years and get one. But I don't know if I need that sort of...
Get on the undercard.
You know what I mean? Sidemen money.
I met this girl a few months ago. This is a new email, by the way, from Rudolph. I met this girl a few months ago, and we were talking regularly by text and got on really well and were so similar. She goes to my school, but it's the year below. I'm 16 in year 12. She's 15 in year 11. Careful, mate. We met after 2 weeks of talking, and since then saw each other nearly every weekend. You're in the same school, and has a lit of fun together. I think it means bit.
Okay, come on.
After a few weeks ago, we made the decision to be official, and she became my girlfriend. Last week, she told me she was struggling to find time for everything. I love when teenagers go, I'm really struggling to find time for everything in my life.
All these business
what else are you fucking doing, you moron?
Between
One Tree Hill and all the fucking other teenage dramas, I'm finding it hard to spend time with you.
All right.
And transitioning away from Barbie dolls. She said nothing would change, but she recently told me she didn't know how she felt anymore and has been really on and off with me. One day, we'll have good conversations and joke around, and the next day, she'll be really blunt with me and seem like she doesn't want to talk.
Fuck me.
I've had girlfriends in the past. All right, mate, don't brag. But I've never connected with someone like I did with her. I'm not sure what to do.
So here's the truth, mate.
Right, because I don't want to let this go.
Here's the truth, because I feel for this kid, because we've all been there.
It's hard. It's hard when a girl says to you, I'm not feeling you anymore. You're like...
So here's the truth, pal.
Drizzy,
just so he knows. She's hit you right in there, and you're falling in love with her, and you feel that everything and all the butterflies and all that bullshit is coming on
Ralph
strong.
Wiggum style.
And you can't stop it. But the thing is, for her, it has stopped, and she doesn't like you that much.
Get rid of it. Do the January transfer. Let Coutinho go to Barcelona. Do you know what I mean?
Basically.
Yeah.
You have to find someone else, mate, because she just doesn't give a fuck.
Think of it as a football transfer.
And the thing is, what she does, like, she likes the allure of, like, you know, flirting and all of that. And someday she's going to have a flirt where you make herself feel good because she knows you're desperate for her.
Do you think she's testing him?
No, not at all.
No, that's a bad
She's
way.
just playing around with him. She's not that into him. get rid, mate. You've got to move on to another girl.
In fact, a really good analogy is actually football transfers. When a player puts in a transfer request, let them go.
It's my advice, though. Sometimes you sell a Coutinho,
Yeah.
right, and you feel like you've let in a worldie go, but
Now he catered on his way.
But, well, maybe. Sign a young up-and-coming player. Not too young, obviously. But what I mean is someone with potential.
Yeah.
You know
And then
what I
when
mean?
you find a player that commits for life, a one-club man, if you will, commit to that one.
Do you know I've realised about me later on, though, and I know I always bring everything back to me because I'm an egomaniac,
Yeah.
is...
Slash 14-year-old girl in the classroom sitting on the floor watching someone give a speech.
What I've realised is I really don't like chasing women anymore.
Just chase status.
No.
Oh.
Like if a girl says things like I'll think about it, or if a girl messaged me and said I'll think about it, or maybe, or
I'll suck it later.
I instantly just, that's it, like, do you know what I mean?
I'm dead to you.
Yeah, either, as far as I'm
WhatsApp.
concerned, I quite like being chased, and if a girl wants me, that's what I'll have.
Your avatar's going to the little grey-headed man on WhatsApp because she's blocked.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. No more from the Bri.
Bri-Bri's my WhatsApp name, is it?
Bri, go bye-bye. So what you're saying is move on.
Move on, kid.
Let her go to Barcelona.
Next one.
Next one is Blitzen. So basically, I went out with a guy.
It's a girl. It's a girl.
It's a girl.
Oh my god, loving it. All right, move on.
Loving it. Like,
Let's pretend his name is Jake.
Right, let's pretend his name is Jake. And it went well, but we decided to take a break to focus on uni applications and all that sort of stuff. In February, earlier this year, we went to the same party, but neither of us knew anyone, so we spoke. Then we kind of started liking each other. You're aboard already. Everything was going well, and we were really hitting it off. But no one could know. This is interesting. It was something only me and him could know about. A few weeks went by, and my friend, let's call her Snake, told me, that's not a great name for a person, told me that she liked Jake. And I was like, ooh,
Oh, shit.
So me and Jake kind of kept speaking because, let's be real, she should have...
Can I read this?
Yeah, go for it. It's sort of a weird...
Right.
It's sort of a weird...
Right.
She should have got feelings for him anyways.
I've just said, can I read it? So me and Jake kept speaking because, let's be real, she should have got feelings for him anyways. So now let's fast forward. She started
Not
telling
reading
him...
the emotion. Read it with the emotion.
Sorry. She started telling him bad stuff about me that wasn't true, so that he'd think I was like a shit person and she could have him to herself. She started going out and she told... they started going out and she told me she didn't want to be pals with me anymore. And she'd
rather be
with him.
Wow.
Anyway, on Friday they broke up, and now he keeps messaging me saying that he liked me the whole time and he didn't know it was all lies. Now he's asking me to go with prom with him. What do? I fancy the fuck out of him, but I'm not a dickhead.
Many thanks. I'm 18 years old with 13-year-old girl dramas. That's what she signs off.
Shout out to her.
Shout out to you.
I'm not allowed to say her name, but no. Shout out to you, Jay. I'm going to call her
JP. She's even got her email is
Anyway.
Yeah.
I say go to the prom with him because it will really piss the other girl off.
And waltz in with his fucking hand and be
just
like,
wear something good.
I'm so fancy.
She's 18.
Yeah.
She's 18. So we can say, wear something that just shows how good you look. Right. Feel good. Look good. Kiss him in front of her. Really fucking rub salt in the
One
boots.
thing that I know feels really good is if you know another girl fancies your guy, kissing him in front of them fucking rubs it
because you being the guy.
Yeah. And the guy is genuinely standing there like, fucking,
this could be worse.
This is great. And you don't know because you're the guy and you're all like, oh, you love me. And they're like, yeah, sure, I love you. Anyway, are they looking? Yeah, go for it. And then, bam, you got her back.
Yeah.
And that fucking snake can slither away.
And lick their wounds.
Snakes can't lick
their
wounds.
Would you be one more email? One more?
Yeah, sure, why not? I'm looking for a good one.
Can I? There's a girl. Another girl.
Where there?
I don't think that's... Is that...
booklet printing.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's not a big problem. It's basically booklet printing.
Is there any more girl? Because I like the girl ones because it's the
ex-boyfriend posted. That's from someone called.
Oh, cool. Let's go.
Cool. Ex-boyfriend posted.
We'll call her K.
Yeah, K. Ex-boyfriend posted that he cheated on me on Facebook. Hello, love the podcast.
Wow.
Keep me anonymous, please.
17.
Call me whatever you like. I'm 17, and a few months ago, my boyfriend and I broke up on good terms due to the fact that we were both leaving school for university and travelling. We stayed friends, which was all going fine until someone told me that he had cheated on me while we were together with another girl I know. I ended up just letting this pass, as I'm from a pretty boring area, so people often stir the pot when nothing has actually happened. And I didn't want to start any unnecessary drama in our friend group based on something someone had said. However, a couple of nights ago, when my ex was out with his pals, I saw a post on Facebook by him and his friends that said he cheated on me. I'm pretty pissed. As you can imagine, as this was posted publicly for everyone I know to see, and they're making a joke out of whatever he did, despite the fact that we were supposedly friends. Should I talk to him to find out what happened with this girl? Should I ignore the situation and him and just move on? Or should I just tell him he's a bit of a cunt? Any advice for both would be fab. Sorry for all the whining. You're not whining. You're right to email in. Sent from mail for Windows 10. I shouldn't have said that.
I think have dignity, have class, ignore it, move on.
Yeah,
it's over anyway.
But he sounds like
he's a bell end.
One of the best ways
to get in contact, tell him he's a cunt and fuck off. But don't contact him. Don't call us, we'll call you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the best thing about it is
that didn't make sense though.
But the best way to have dignity is to know that person's done wrong. Move on. Don't do wrong as well.
Yeah.
An eye for an eye makes the whole world blind.
Should we do another email?
Sure.
I'm up for another one while we're waiting for the lads here.
All right. Olivia. Oh.
Olivia.
Is a made-up name. Beat that out.
No, they haven't. She hasn't said anything about that. Just go.
Skint and separated. I'd like some advice on how to maintain my relationship. Me and my boyfriend have been together for 2 years and I'm very close with him and his friends. He is... Sorry, by the way, that previous person, the situation you're in sounds terrible and I feel terrible that you've been snaked by your friends. That sounds really bad. We feel bad for you, but know that you're in the right. He's a year older than me and I'm going to university next year while I'll still be in college. He's only moving about 30 minutes away. However, the college I go to is in the middle of nowhere and relies on an 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. bus to get there and home. This wasn't too much of an issue when we both went there. We go back to mine. This bus doesn't go... Jesus, this is a problem about a bus. This bus doesn't go anywhere near his uni and is the only bus in the area. Stop saying bus. Is the only bus in the area.
Bus problems, man.
We both can't drive. We both can't drive because we can't afford it. And I'm pretty sure if I was allowed a car, he'd be visiting me in prison instead of college. Right, okay, because she'd run people down. I'm worried that we won't be able to see each other as we can hardly afford travel now. Moving in somewhere would be an option, but we're definitely not ready for that and we can't afford it. I could move college, however, basically what she's saying is they're not close to each other where they're studying. What should she do? The bus isn't a convenient one. Bad buses.
Can you believe someone's actually wrote that into me? Can you believe I'm supposed to fix that?
Oh, God.
I mean, what am I supposed to do? Get onto the fucking bus service and say, yeah, we've got a fucking problem.
Arriva, yeah. You need to put on another bus service. Why? Well, there's a young love.
True Geordie said so.
Email us back. Tell us how much
That's the bottom line because True Geordie said so.
Email us back. Tell us how much this one's a good one, maybe. Building muscle. Oh, no, it's not.
How much do you want? How much money do you need? Email me that.
Yeah, how much money do you need? And we'll see if we can
get a sponsor.
Start a GoFundMe. Maybe it's a porn site.
Wow, this is a long... I'm not listening to this email.
No, it's not that long. It's just... Right. It's in... You know, in school where you try and fill more pages, so you make the font bigger.
Can we start from me problem? Because we've got a lot of wafflers to do.
Okay, my problem isn't about girls, so you can switch off if you want...
Cheers, mate.
Geordie. Oh, so you switch off if you want Geordie.
Cheers.
This is my last year in high school, and let's just say my work ethic has pretty much made this year made this last year a bit of a redeeming year to get the grades I need for my future. But basically, my question is, I am completely fucked in life if I don't achieve National 5 Maths. National 5 Maths is what is called in Scotland. Don't know what it is in England. Probably an A. Basically, what he's saying is maths is the only subject I am having difficulty with. I appreciate your advice. He really doesn't understand maths. Also, Laurence, you're genuinely one of the funniest people I've ever come across. Your sly comments get me every time, smiley face. Didn't he
So
say that?
he wants to do an apprenticeship in a trade of some kind after high school,
Yeah.
is what he's saying.
Yeah. What kind of trade would you take up?
That's not what he's asking.
No, what's he asking?
How to get his National 5
In maths. Go to your teacher and say, I'm really struggling with this and I feel like I could do with some extra help. What?
Oh, how did we go to Robbie Williams to this? What a fucking step down.
Robbie's watching this and going,
Oh, I need
I'm
a
not watching
National
any more
5
of these.
maths. Oh.
He's watching it and going, fuck
Kid,
this
just
shit.
fucking revise, mate.
Yeah.
Move on. Can we do another one?
Yeah, sure. Just do as many as you want.
Teenage foursome. What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that?
Teenage foursome.
No way. No way.
Hi, my name's Donna and I have a problem.
It's not Donna. It's a bloke, man.
Yeah, Donna, like Donna and Blitzen, the fucking reindeers.
Is Donna a reindeer name?
Yeah, Donna and Blitzen.
Is it?
Donna and Blitzen, I think, means...
All right.
I actually think Donna's not actually
I've
the name
got
of
a
the reindeer.
problem that
I think Blitzen, Donna and Blitzen is actually
All right.
Thunder and Lightning in
All
German.
Right. Last name Carlin, as in Carling beer. That ain't really a problem I ain't really thought about. My close mate just started hitting it on with a girl, fucked within a week. I'm close to him and the girl's best friend. I went round and started joking
about inviting them round and seeing what happens.
He started joking about it and then texted the girl he fucked and genuinely arranged it with me, him and the 2 other girls.
I've already done shit with girls, but never had sex, and I don't know if I should start with a foursome.
Imagine that, man.
Around my best mate's house.
Fuck me.
We're both not that innocent when it comes to girls. You are.
You haven't even fucked one, man, you daft cunt.
But I still don't know what to do. Hope you read this and get to hear about this in your podcast. Imagine if he puts the podcast on and goes, guys, let's just chill out, have a little foursome and listen to the True Geordie. I know what'll chill us all out.
Mate,
just a little end of year podcast from the True Geordie.
I would never normally talk someone out of having sex, but
you don't sound like you should.
if you're having a foursome for your virginity, it's probably not ideal. Like, you know what I mean? Your virginity should not be in a fucking room full of people.
This is the way I imagine it will go, right? 2 seconds in, he'll go, oh, come already, you guys just get on with it.
The thing is, when I lost my virginity,
you were 9?
I had the opposite problem. I fucking lasted forever.
Forever.
Like, weirdly, because I had a condom on, I couldn't feel fuck all. So I'm just fucking giving it hell, and I'm like,
you're looking her in the eye going, I'd rather have had a wank.
well, pretty much.
Annoying.
Yeah. So, I mean, mate, just find a girl that you just want to be alone with her and do that first, for Christ's sake. Just do it with one girl first. Just start with one, and then work your way onto orgies.
Yeah, work your way onto... And also, let's just be clear, most men, I'd say, yeah, most men, I've never seen another man's penis during a sexual situation.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
It's not really arousing.
We've completely overlooked that his mate's going to be there and they're both going to see each other's... Anyway.
The thing is, I don't like... It's not that it would bother us that much. It's just, you know, I'd rather be me and the 2 girls.
I also think you should wait until you are it's the right time in your life. If you're thinking about having sex at the teenage point in your life, don't rush.
Like, yeah.
And also,
you've got to be comfortable with yourself and confident to do shit like this, mate. You are nowhere near prepared for this. It's like you're going into a fucking gunfight with a fucking, unarmed.
Also, if you're a teenager and you're thinking of having a foursome, the likelihood is the parents downstairs just going, what are they doing up there? I'll just go up and have a quick check. What the fuck?
Yeah, I'm sure that they've thought about this shit because you know what dirty teenagers are like.
And you also know what parents are like, where they go, 2 boys, 2 girls upstairs.
Your virginity, just do it with one girl, for fuck's sake, mate.
Next one. I recently found out that my mum is cheating on my dad.
Jesus! Really?
I don't think that my dad knows.
Oh,
This is a really
God,
short
that-
problem, by the way.
Can we just say that this is the worst though? Because at least with a bloke, you're like dirty man, but you sort of, and it's a double standard. But
Siri.
you can sort of get away with that though. Do you know what I mean? Because it's like men have their needs. The women are little innocent mother. You know, she's probably 40 or whatever. She's none the wiser. But with a woman, it's like fuck.
You snivelling little...
Slut.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You horrible piece. You are the worst.
You cock-hungry MILF. Look at you. Salivating at the lips over the littlest bit of fucking gardener who comes past you just gagging for
You
it.
chauvinist.
Come mow this lawn.
Chauvinist pig. I don't think my dad knows, but I don't know what to do. Should I speak to him? Should I speak to my mum? Should I tell no one? Any help would be greatly
Do you know what's funny?
appreciated. Love the podcast.
Chauvinist
Keep up
pig
the great
there.
work.
I was out at the bar the other night and this girl was like, "Oh, I'm a feminist," and I was like, "I'm a male chauvinist pig, so it's fine." And as soon as I said that, the look in her eyes changed.
From what?
I knew she liked it straight away. I just fucking knew it. Like, people can say whatever they want, like, and say, "Oh, you know,
Pigs have got pork. That's all we're saying.
I'm serious, man." I could tell the fact that I was such a challenge was an instant attraction.
Brilliant.
Honestly.
So, Daddy's been cheated on.
You're lovely.
Daddy's been cheated on. And Mummy doesn't want anyone to know. How do we solve this
Mummy's getting blasted with cum. Blasted.
This must be quite a traumatic situation for...
Imagine knowing that though. Like, Mom's getting fucking dicked. That is bad, isn't it?
Shit, and we're just drinking champagne, talking about it.
He spilled that.
Fuck that shit.
Oh, Christ, on a bike. Just to me, I thought of
And
his
he
mother.
did have a bike.
Did he find out though by walking in on her?
Maybe. Although maybe he saw the car, maybe he came
She
back to
was
the house.
on all fours, literally getting done,
That's
doggy style.
not what it says in the email. Now, this kid's found out about his mum cheating on his dad. Does he go to his mum first and go, "Mum, the fuck?"
Aye.
Go to the mum. But then the mum goes, "I'll buy you an Xbox if you don't tell your dad."
Oh, he's up on Xbox then, isn't he?
He's up on Xbox, yeah. But then your mum's still a cheating...
If you're sure, and you haven't really given us so much detail, but if you're sure as sure can be...
Make sure you get the Connect. Maybe a package, sort of Forza and FIFA in there as well. Try
What
and
you
get
don't
PUBG.
want to do,
PUBG's great.
and this is the way I would approach the situation because I'm an open and honest person.
Right.
If you go to the mother, what you're giving her a chance to do is cover her tracks, hide it from your dad,
Brilliant.
and also the mother can then say to dad about you and blame it on you or make out that you're a liar and give her time to prepare for this. If you go to the dad, he might not react well. He might lash out or you might freak out or have a meltdown.
What are you doing with that gun, Dad? Just let me do this, son.
What I would do personally is
Mention it at dinner.
well, not quite, but almost. I would say it in front of the pair of them. What's going on?
It's the True Geordie back again.
What's going on?
Yeah.
I would say, I would bring them and say, "Mom, I've noticed whatever evidence that you've got. Say, well, what's happening here?"
Maybe try and get some photos of your mum having sex. Is what you're saying.
What you want to do is send them the True G
You haven't thought this one
Problems.
through, have you?
TrueGproblems@gmail.com
Yeah.
to us. We'll see the photos of Mum getting done doggy style.
I don't want to see those. I don't want to have
Anal,
to solicit
blowjob,
them.
anything. We'll
None of
verify
them.
if it's
We
actual
don't-
sex.
Yeah, right.
And then when we say yes, then you know she's cheating.
Right, are you saying only penetrative sex is cheating? What point do you think it's cheating? Do you know what I mean? Is mum going down to the bar? Is she having a bit too much flirting with...
Well, I've had this conversation recently. Do you think that messaging other people is cheating?
Yeah.
Do you think that... because
Is that not the answer you wanted?
No, not at
Right.
all. But some people seem to think that only when you fuck someone is it then cheating.
No. There's an emotional side to it as well, I think, that people... and I think at the same time, there's different levels of cheating, isn't
Oh,
there?
there is levels to this shit.
But at the same time, all cheating is cheating. But at the same time, I think sometimes when people are unhappy in a relationship,
I think you can work past some cheating, is what I'm saying. Like, for example, if you message other people and you don't fuck, there's still hope left in the relationship.
Right.
But I think once you go and you're fucking other people, then it's fucked.
So penetrative cheating is bad.
So depending on what evidence you've got, I think you should bring it up in front of them.
Yeah.
And say, look.
So there you are at dinner. Oh, mum, what a lovely chicken breast.
I know I'm asking. The thing is, I'm saying what I would do, but this is the thing. I don't know if you're capable of having the balls to do that, because it takes a lot, but it's the safest option, because then you can leave them to discuss it and they both know, and remove yourself from the situation.
How does that work?
If you start saying one thing to one and one to the other, you become a part of it.
You become the middle bit.
No.
Yeah, and you don't want to be part of it.
You want to drop that bomb, leave them to deal with it, and get the fuck out.
Oh, so you basically.
So what you do is you get your coat on.
Yeah.
You get your coat on, and you're like, just about to go out, Mum. Dad, there's something that you both should know before I leave. Mum's having an affair. Right, I'll see you later.
I'll see you later. I'm just off to the arcade.
I'll see you later.
Arcade? There's not been an arcade in this town for 10 years, Jimmy.
See you later.
See ya.
Bye.
Yeah. Or mid-dinner, you just go, Mum, this chicken breast's lovely. One more thing. My wife loves you, but I don't agree with that in the workplace, right? And then she goes, what don't you agree with in the workplace, Jimmy? And then you go, cheating, Mum.
Merry Christmas, you bastard.
Now, what we're taking the piss out of...
Not over the Christmas dinner.
Over the Christmas dinner, you go, Mum, I noticed you were
put
taking some dick last week. And then Dad goes, excuse me, what? And you go...
I noticed, I'm just having this lovely pig and blanket, and I noticed that John from next door put his pig in your blanket, Mum.
Mum, why would you allow that pig into your blanket?
And all your gravy got on his pig.
Yeah. Mum,
why did you come all over his pig, Mum?
Don't say that on the Christmas table. Grandma's already
Should we do another one? Let's do another one.
Yeah.
I'm liking this.
Okay,
I'm getting really drunk now.
By the way,
we've got a business meeting after.
Just to be very clear, this kid's having a really traumatic time in his life and we're just taking the piss out of him for 5 minutes.
Look, mate, when you come to me for advice,
I still think you've given good advice there.
Sit them down together, drop the bomb, and then fuck off.
Brilliant. Dream girl at work. This one seems like a good one.
This is a good one.
It's a good one. All right. This one's from Dasher.
Can I?
Yeah, sure. Read it.
Brief this. All right. He's 16. He's a virgin, and he's had several sexual experiences. 100% sexual. Received oral a few times, but he's never had full sex.
Do you still think he's a virgin, even if he's received oral?
For me, yeah. If you haven't had full sex, to me, you're still kind of a virgin.
The body and blood of Christ. The body and blood of Christ.
And I am not awkward sexually, is what you're saying.
Right.
So got a job at a restaurant, first shift, he meets this girl.
Domino's.
Let's call her Sophie. And as soon as I saw her, I knew I had instantly fallen in love.
Wow. That's so sweet.
To be fair, I've been there as a young man. When you see a girl who's so beautiful, but can I just say, mate, you haven't fallen in love with her. You haven't fallen in love.
Why?
You're infatuated.
No.
You are blown away by how hot this girl is.
What?
She's not that... You don't even know anything about her at this point. So
I do.
What happens is
I saw her work.
Your hormones and all the bullshit going on in your brain and your body is convincing you that you're in love with her. You're not. You don't even know her properly yet.
You don't even love you, idiot.
We're the same age, live in the same town, friends with some of our college friends, da-da-da-da-da.
So much in common.
We chat a bit at work, but not to the amount where I can be confident that it's because she likes me.
Having stuff geographically.
There are a couple of signs that she might find me attractive. For example, followed her on Instagram.
Aries.
She added me on Snapchat. Also, the second time I met her, she then mentioned that one of her best friends remembers me from school.
Wow. Such signs. Yeah, one of my best friends remembers me from school.
Now,
what did you say? Sorry, I thought you mumbled that because you're drunk.
She was either talking to her friends about me, or she stalked me on social media, and so we had mutual friends.
Brilliant.
Am I looking too much into these fine details?
In a way.
Maybe not. And that's the truth. Maybe not.
Right.
Maybe not.
Because details are what girls drop, right? And they go, ooh, let's see if he picks up on this. Back to the witch's cottage.
My question is, should I talk to her at work and wait for the signs to become more obvious, or message her on Snapchat? Mate, you are an amateur in this shit.
Really? Like, what should he do?
Because but why are you messaging me, mate? You should be messaging her right now. Do you know what I mean?
Do you think you should send this email to her?
How do I play it if I get rejected and work becomes really awkward?
Copy
You know
and paste
it is,
what you
mate?
just put here, send it to her, and go, got a little bit of a problem.
Mate, I've had girls reject me before loads of times. This shit happens.
He put, P.S. I'm decent looking. And most girls rate me as 8 to 9 out of 10. Wow. But I'm 5'9". Ah. Bad luck.
How can you be an 8 or 9 out of 10 if you're 5'9", pal?
You've got to be a 6.
knocked down a peg or two, isn't it, son?
You've got to be at least a 6-footer to be an 8.
Pretty much.
Yep. If you're below that, don't even bother thinking you're an 8 because you are not going anywhere.
No, to be fair, there are some handsome. I mean, Tom Cruise is 5'7". So.
Yeah, but he wears the.
You can still find them. But what I would say is, here's how you feel it out. Here's how you feel a situation out.
Go to it at work. Go. There's an order at table 5. By the way, I love you. See ya. Spotted dick, and she goes, what? And you go, they want spotted dick over there. Just custard and cream for the other one. Thank you. I love you. What? Just get them the table.
Spicy sausage on the pizza.
On the table. What? Sorry, what? Yeah.
No, to be
garlic
honest.
olive bread. What? Why are you saying garlic olive bread? I love you. What? Why are you doing this, Ian? At work
can I
as
give you
well.
some advice?
I'm trying to serve the
Mate,
table.
when you're
Do it in
messaging
front of
her-
a table. That would be brilliant.
When you're messaging this girl,
I love you, Kirsty. What? Nothing.
make small talk, but eventually, there's a good rule of thumb. You listening? There's a good fucking rule of thumb. Compliment her.
Yeah.
Not straight away.
I love the way you serve those dishes.
Have a bit of small talk. Compliment her. Say something like, "You look really nice the other day." Whatever.
I saw the way table 5 gave you a big tip. What? What? Is that not a compliment?
No.
Right. Yeah.
You look nice. But
That's a nice apron.
specifically, if you're on Instagram, for example, say something about one of her pictures.
Yeah.
You look really good
Mate,
in this picture.
I was a master of Instagram. If anything, like the relationship that I'm, been like, the best relationship I've ever had was started on Instagram.
All right.
And you can do so much on Instagram.
Well, this is the thing. So what I'm trying to say is, if you pinpoint a picture,
weakness.
no, you pinpoint, say you look great in this picture. If she then doesn't compliment you back at all, which is kind of how it usually goes,
Don't at me.
then you work a little harder. But if you get nothing, if you're saying, "Oh, you're so da da da," like, and don't come across as a wet blanket, obviously, but if you pay a few compliments and you get nothing back,
Thought table 4 was good tonight.
next time you're at work, say, "Don't forget to wash that fucking dish. I've seen you miss that up."
Yeah. Yeah. And then she knows you're in the driving seat.
Now, in all seriousness, if she doesn't give you any compliments back and you're sort of pouring it on a bit, it's a waste of time.
Waste of time. Just let her get the tip from the table and just move on. Just
I've seen your big tits. I mean, big tips that you've.
I see the way that you use those men on those tables.
Should we do another one?
Yeah,
'Cause, I mean,
Kirsty. Yeah, you see me.
I'm
using
actually
it.
enjoying this.
See me
shit.
using the keyboard
And
shortcuts.
nobody's-
You jealous? Sure, of course you are. You want to?
Oh, they're outside. They're
Oh
outside.
fuck! Tell them to ring the buzzer, and then I'll.
We'll wrap it up now. Anyway, I just want to say, Merry fucking Christmas, everyone. Yeah.
And a happy New Year.
2018 is my year. Every year is my fucking year. All right, we're gonna do this. It's all coming. Stay tuned, all that shit. But have a good time with your families. Lots of gravy.
And if you're not with your families, then have a good time wherever you are. And
Alone.
if
you're just spending it with us, thanks.
if you don't have a family, then that's also
Some
okay.
people watch us on Christmas Day as a part of like the thing. Do you know what I mean?
Say, Grandma, look at this for a second. Grandma, are you all
Should I
right?
just get me dick out now? Just
No,
for the grandma? No,
not for Grandma.
I've
no.
had a few. Merry Christmas. Like the video. Stay subscribed. We love you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you later.